Oh baby, it is a very exciting day today. This would be a beautiful day for Bitcoin to go back to $40,000. We got plenty to talk about as Bitcoin more or less just resolves the short and medium term time frame ranges, as we've been speaking about for the past week here now. And with that said, just slowly seeing follow through out of this very snail-like masturbation market. Anyways, with that said, we got CZ. CZ is back in the mix. He's back at it, and he's bearing good news. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Just received a certificate of commendation from the National Police of Ukraine and Ministry of Internal Affairs from Moscow. This is very interesting. Let's dig a little bit deeper. How about that? How about this? Certificate of commendation. What the fuck is that? Don't know. Who is it from? Cyber Police. What the fuck is that? It's probably not real.
We take an opportunity to express our deep respect and gratitude for your
indifference? Wait, what the fuck? Indifference and assistance in the detection and investigation of
serious criminal offense in the sphere of cybersecurity and illegal exploitation of children.
What the fuck, man? Wait, did I read that properly? Okay, there's a lot of things that are very strange about this. Cyber Police, 1, indifference and the detection and investigation of serious criminal offenses? Wait, what? Wait, what the fuck? What the... And hold on. And also, you can only comment on this if CZ follows you or mentions you. This seems a little bit bizarre, CZ. What the fuck's going on over here, man? Then we got one from the Ministry of Internal Affairs of the Russian Federation for the Moscow region.
Honorable Shangbing Zhao, as a result of fraudulent activities of unidentified persons that took place on the April 2nd, 2021, we inform you that thanks to the assistance of your organization, persons involved in the theft of funds in the above criminal case have now been identified.
Very nicely done, CZ. Keeping everyone safe in Safu. Our hero CZ, the Batman that we deserve, the man himself. You gotta fucking love him, operating the shitcoin fucking carousel of casinos over at Binance. But you know what? He's still keeping you safe. He's keeping you safe from those very nasty trial traffickers. What the fuck does that mean? I don't know. But you know what? The Cyber Police, the only way that I know the Cyber Police is from fucking Jesse Slaughter over here. Do you remember that from back in the day? And I've contacted the Cyber Police. Consequences will never be the same. Dear fucking Lord, man, you gotta love that. This market is just a meme market. You have to love it. You have to enjoy it. Fuck AMC, fuck Dogecoin, fuck GameStop. This is all just nonsense, my friends, but we might as well enjoy it. Might as well enjoy it while it lasts, because right now, Bitcoin actually is looking a little bit for continuation. Hey, Mr. Colby Juck, we'll get to that a little bit later. I will get into altcoin analysis after we get through the Bitcoin analysis, as always, but I would appreciate it in the meantime if we'll just focus down, which I could probably do a little better job of myself. Apologies on that. Apologies for all the offensive words that I've said thus far, because I've been getting a lot of messages about that as well. Hey, please understand that my language is never intended to offend. It's just a lazy way of expressing myself when creating content, for like 2 hours long, which can be a little bit testing, I suppose. Anyways, with that said, let's get into the Krown application over here, which we found at app.krown.net. What do we see? We see all kinds of things going on right now. Bitcoin dominance is more or less steady within the range, but as Bitcoin does travel up to the top side of the higher term time frame range, around that $41,000 region, this is going to become a bit of a consideration. So while altcoins have more or less done okay, we'll say, when Bitcoin's been oscillating between about 32 and 41,000 bucks, I would imagine that any sort of a break above or below, in this case, looks a little more likely to the upside, that we are going to see altcoins lose versus their Bitcoin pairing. Now, assuming that Bitcoin does break to the upside here, at least on the daily, which I do think that it is, then I would be looking for altcoins to follow versus US dollar, just perhaps not as much in terms of, in terms of outpacing Bitcoin. Fear and greed index still stuck at a 24, which is more or less good, as Bitcoin is, putting in a bit of a low structure right here, at least on the medium and in daily time frame. And we do see that open interest actually starting to take a bit of a leg up for the first time that we've seen. Actually, the first time that we've been seeing get above about 5.5 billion in the past week and a half to 2 weeks now. So this is actually good. Alongside price action, it's actually testing around the top side of the range. We're not necessarily there just yet, but overall, it does still strengthen the resolve that I do think that Bitcoin essentially breaks north of 40,000 bucks before it potentially tests back down to 30 or maybe even lower over time. I do think that that's very much a potential possibility, but upside first, maybe a bit of a bull trap in the deep $40,000 territory. And then we'll talk about that if and when it does happen. But for right now, top 10 best coins, top 10 worst coins, what do we see? We do see OKB, Kusama having a really good day right there, almost 25%, not bad. Phantom, Cosmos, Dogecoin, Polkadot, Waves, IOTA, Binance Coin, Solana, all having a pretty damn double-digit good green dildo day. Actually, really impressive right there, all things considered. On the top 10 worst coins, pretty much no one, in fact. All losses are very muted if they were on the losing side. In fact, most of these are comprised of stable coins. So fair enough. I think that kind of speaks for itself. The market is just generally looking and generally kind of floating upside right here. And when we go into the market data tab, what do we see? We do see Bitcoin putting a little bit of signals of short-term accumulation. Yes, indeed. But this is short-term accumulation versus about 3 to 4 months of distribution. So I would still express a bit of concern, even though I am a little bit short-term, medium-term bullish on Bitcoin here. But there are still several underlying market dynamics that still support this move. Again, open interest right here, slowly crawling up as Bitcoin does test around the top side of the range. Generally good. We'll match that up with what we look at on the put call market soon enough. And then funny rate over here. Jesus fucking Christ, could you stop that nonsense? Anyways, let me eat you fuckface. That's how my girlfriend speaks with me. She's very lovely. Okay, for the love of God, for real. Anyways, looking at the funny rates right here, we actually still see a few exchanges posting negative rates, and for the ones that are not, they are pretty much inconsequential anyways. 0.01% is nothing to be concerned about, and you're actually getting paid to hodl longs right now on BitMEX, Bybit, and Deribit and Kraken. You're not even paying anything. I mean, basically 0.01% is not paying anything anyways. So at the end of the day, this does still play into the narrative, as we have been speaking about for like the last week and a half here. Bitcoin very likely does rally up into the deeper $40,000 territory before a potential bull trap. I'm not saying that this is all said and done, and I drastically fear that I can be misheard on this one, because I've been, I typically do read the comments, and I think the majority of people on this channel, like 90% plus people on this channel, definitely get it. But there's always at least some people who like, I don't know, but hopefully I can be as deliberately clear as possible. Look, I do think Bitcoin has some upside here. I wouldn't necessarily say that Bitcoin is destined to go back to the moon and beyond at this exact moment. I want to see how Bitcoin responds in the mid to deep $40,000 territory, because that is where you would expect a bull trap. And there are several signals that do still say that Bitcoin is under immense pressure on the higher term timeframes. Within that narrative, could we still see a rally? Yes, of course. And I believe that that's what we're seeing right now. And a bunch of altcoins, which are looking rather healthy, are going to probably make some new highs alongside of that. I mean, Matic is certainly not showing any signs of weakness, at least on the higher term timeframes. And I'd imagine that's going to benefit again the stronger alts like Matic, Cardano, even Dogecoin was actually acting a little bit better there too. All jokes aside, and perhaps a few other ones as well. But with all things considered, I do still think that this market is rather risky if you are more long-term at this exact moment. Now, if you're super long-term, if you're thinking on like a 10 years plus schedule, well, you probably don't give a fuck about this anyways, because you're just going to hodl anyways. And history would say that you're going to be more or less right. Anyways, with that said, let's get into the put call markets over here. I'm curious if we see anything that has not or has actually changed since yesterday. And no, in fact, if anything, we actually saw a bit of a de-risking on the $36,000 strike. I believe we saw about 200 open interest there yesterday, or around 200. I really want to see this get to like 250 to 300 before it becomes anything, relevant. Again, max pain is completely irrelevant. It is not, it means nothing. This is a very immature way of understanding this sort of data. Overall, we don't really have much to be made out of this. We do see several call strikes are getting picked up here, $38, $39, and $40,000, $40,000 strikes comparatively, but nothing is really sticking out like a sore thumb right now. I really want to see this get much higher before it becomes like an obvious read. For right now, we can essentially just say what we already know. We have a range, $36,000 to about $39,000, $40,000 essentially, and you can see that someone's pretty much buying the strangle going on right there. And is this the worst time to be doing that? No, not really. We do see that BBWP, a volatility-based indicator, is coming down rather significantly. So, while it's not necessarily at like all-time lows or anything, it would suggest that, options right now are essentially a little bit more on the cheaper side. And if you do want to play a breakout, you can, it would make sense in this case, I suppose. Now, personally speaking, I really don't like buying premium until it gets like into the single digits, and even then, I really don't like doing it. But in this case right here, you have an obvious range. Looks like they're playing the June regulars, and I imagine we probably do see a break out of that range before that time period. And then I want to come back around the end of this month and see if there's any strike that's really getting played up, because that's going to set in like the next buys. But until we get there, there's just too many variables to really give any strong and just forthright analysis other than what we've already done. So with that said, let's go into the actual price action charts, and it is time let's go down to the daily for right now. Okay, so first things first, let's do the daily perusal of the three major things that I'm looking for to, at the very least, get a bit of a daily rally, of which we have not still the hash ribbons indicator, which is actually showing about 3 days estimated right now till resolution on a blue buy signal. If we get that, that would be the next big signal that I'm looking for in order to at least look for Bitcoin to trade back up into the mid to deep $40,000 territory. Realistic target's gonna be about $45,000 and then probably like $49,000. But overall, still kind of baking within there. And then I want to see about a week pass, maybe 2 weeks pass after this blue buy signal is given. Now, again, if you are watching this channel for a while now, I can just kind of siphon you over to the long-term analysis playlist where we go through that indicator in detail and all of the past historical relevancies of it. I won't do that on this video. You can basically just backtest it yourself, and the results are pretty normalized within a general range. Now we can go to the last example if you just want one really quick one. And could this be relevant to what we're looking at right now? Potentially, yes. We do see capitulation signal over here. This was 20th of October. We see buy signal over here. This is 1st of December. What is that? About a little bit over a month. Then from blue buy signal to next momentous move, that was about 2 weeks on the 15th of December right here. Now you will notice that even after the blue buy signal is printed, Bitcoin goes on a very short-term rally, yes, but ultimately does come back down, and more importantly put in a higher low. And that is really at the point of maximum trend trading, if you will, buying that higher low right there before the next mega breakout. Anyways, I strongly suggest you go through this yourself. Don't trust verify or whatever the hell the saying is. And at the end of the day, I would be looking for that to get at the very least the next move somewhere around the 55 on the daily, essentially, which is currently crawling down in the deeper $40,000 territory. I still think that that's rather likely. Daily MACD also crossing up as well. This one's been relatively consistent here. More importantly, we did see the equal but opposite reaction between the extremes that we saw on the upside and the downside into the $5,200 territory, or not $200 territory, but $5,200 territory for these values. Typically, that is going to produce a bit of a bounce in this case. Works to both sides. Just one of those weird rules that typically does work out. Anyways, that's actually not a part of the three things that I'm looking for. Only the hash rate is the daily trend, of which, do we have a higher low in place? Actually, technically no, but the thing is that this market does operate, more or less together. And when we look across all of the major alts, we see several of the stronger ones printing in higher lows right here, like Ethereum, like Cardano, I believe. Yes, indeed. Like Matic, actually Matic, like massively higher lows. In fact, really impressive right there. So overall, we do, I would say that that's more or less confirmed already. And then the next thing, the most important thing that I want to see is actually something that we've seen plenty of thus far. It would be the BBWP over here, the volatility-based indicator. on the daily, not the 12-hour. And what do we see? It's coming down around 25 percentile. Now, I know someone in the chat said earlier, Krown, look at the trend line on the BBWP. Look, I know what you're saying right here. I don't think it's going to work like that. On a volatility-based indicator like this, I do not believe that it's going to work in this exact metric. We just don't see a good history of that working out at all. This is, essentially looking at percentiles. So I don't know if they're necessarily related in that way. I mean, maybe an example right here could have worked, but still, I don't see a good enough history of it to actually work for me to put a lot of weight on it. More importantly though, with this coming down all the way, below even 50 percentile, that does kind of set us up for a bit of a move here. Now, the lower it gets, typically the bigger the expansion phase will be. Not always, but a general rule that I usually go by. And in this case right here, we do see several things that are indicative that Bitcoin is ready for, at the very least, a bit of a bouncy bounce here. And what were those things? Well, first things first, we wanted to see BBWP get to extremes on the mega lows. That would already be confirmed with 100 percentile read both here on the 21st and then on the 23rd as well. Similar to what we saw on the last mega downside move, that'd be coronavirus dump times over here. Ever since then, it's just been straight upside, so we don't have any other good, more recent examples. But again, you can backtest this one yourself, and you're going to find relatively similar results. But this one, very, 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 very similar to what we're doing right now as well. Anyways, we do see it hits 100 percentile multiple days in a row. Boom, it goes below the moving average. Then the moving average gets a negative slope. So that's part number 2 and 3. And then we want to see BBWP get all the way down as low as possible, essentially. Anywhere below like 25 percentile is, going to be pretty good. And this one actually does get to about 18 and a quarter percentile, it looks like, before it actually does put in this next sort of higher low and momentous move to the upside. And that was also accompanied by, if you remember, on the very beginning of this video, that was also accompanied by that blue buy signal. Actually, no, we did not go over this one today, but this one over here, capitulation, buy signal right here, boom, move up. So I'd like to see these things all happen simultaneously. Right now we have, I would say right now we have about 2 of them pretty much already in there. And and also for reference, I should denote that currently speaking, in comparison to what we did do in March 2020, this is getting around about 25 percentile right here. So it's comparable essentially. Anyways, the next big thing, again, is going to be the hash ribbons indicator. And then if you want to use a momentum-based indicator, I think that could be fine as well, although it's not necessarily pertinent to that. I mean, I could give you like a million fucking indicators right now in order to track, but it's really not as important as those 3 main things. Those are the 3 main things that I think are relatively easy to remember. And I understand that a lot of people on a channel like this are not necessarily traders, even though this channel is focused on traders. And by the way, apologies for the clickbait title. I hate that I do it, but it's also hilarious because it actually does work, which is even funnier. What also works is like asking people to like and subscribe. For whatever reason, if I don't do that, which I never do, the numbers are like completely different whenever I do test it. So like and subscribe, smash the fucking bell, tickle your mom, and don't ever unsubscribe. And hey, what the hell? Oh, you're smashing the bell, sir. Nice one. Good job. Anyways, my Scott Carney beef been coming. By the way, it's Scott Carney. Scott Carney, if you are here, I need to ask you, are you the Scott Carney, the Mr. Harmonics? If you are, we should have a chat, man. I would actually really like to learn a little bit about that. Anyways, okay, so several other things that we should talk about as well. If you do want to add into this equation a momentum oscillator, I have the privilege of using the Joule over here. We do have a Joule buy signal on the 12-hour, pretty damn good signal on that one, and that's still giving me a bullish bias at the very least to about $40,000. Now remember, we are operating off of structure right now. We do have a very immature structure here, but it is in place nonetheless. And I would say that while I am looking for Bitcoin to tag up towards somewhere around just north of $40,000, I would be looking for perhaps a little bit of a short-term pullback based upon that. Off of the first test. First pass, very likely a pullback. However, any sort of a closure today above this range right here, 39,300, honestly 40,000 going to be a little bit easier to remember, or a wick higher than last week's wick high, which is 40,904 on Bitstamp, by the way, then I would be looking for Bitcoin to trade into the deeper $40,000 territory. At that moment, I would be looking for that next momentous move to the upside. What else did I want to talk about right here? Do we have anything else on the 12-hour? 12-hour RSI, multiple drives of phantom div on the lows as well, but that's a bit of hindsight right now. It's already, it's kind of already in motion of playing out. Same thing on daily as well. And then daily TSI is officially turned to the upside, now confirmed as of last night's closure. So looking pretty damn good within, all things considered right now. If we go over here to momentum oscillators, I really like what I'm seeing on the higher term timeframes, at least for a short-term move to the upside. We do see daily continuing to work its way out of the bearish control zone for the first time since realistically 14th of May. We've been stuck down there for the last 2-3 weeks. So this is actually a rather important thing. Looking at the 2-day, we are going to have a chance to cross the upside today, perhaps, if Bitcoin just does close above 38,400. 34,500. The 3-day, which did close last night, has already confirmed that, and it's actually coming in from a much lower angle, right around 34,500. I'm curious what the weekly is showing right here too, 54.4. So that's not switching around anytime soon. Anyways, my point is that there are a lot of good things, at least for the short and medium term timeframes, for continuation. Short term to about 40, maybe 41,000 bucks. If that next condition is met, I would extend targets all the way up to 45, maybe even 50,000 bucks, somewhere around there. But remember, that area is fraught with peril. I want to bring you over to this right here, an indicator that has actually not failed once in its signatures throughout the whole history of Bitcoin. I am Scott Derper. Okay, so you're Mr. Derp. Oh, okay, Mr. Derp, but not Mr. Harmonic. Oh well, fair enough, man. It's a pleasure anyway, sir. Goddamn, I've learned to love it, my friend. I've learned to love it, sir. Anyways, I want to bring you over to the bi-weekly MACD. Okay, the bi-weekly MACD is going to cross the downside at the end of this weekend, Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, inevitably, if Bitcoin fails to close above the $42,186 level. Again, you can get this indicator for free. Just type in reverse caretaker and like 50 indicators will pop up. They're all fucking free. Enjoy it. And major thank you to Mr. Caretaker. Hey, what's up, Derek? I see you over there. I'm the real Scott Carney. You're the real Scott Carney. I know exactly who you are, sir. Elsa's Scott Carney. I thought you were Satoshi. We are all Satoshi, sir. By the way, Satoshi, I actually watched a really interesting video on speculation on who Satoshi could be. Actually posted by BitBoy, funnily enough, like way before he blew the hell up. Like it must have been like 3-4 years ago, and it was actually one of the most compelling videos that I have seen. Really fucking interesting information. If you're actually interested in that, definitely go check it out. Like it's actually like rather compelling. Like it's actually like good journalism. Anyways, okay, so yes, we only have a few signals of this, both to the upside and the downside. But all signals have been mega macro moves. The last signal that we got to the upside was in May 2020. May 2020, Bitcoin pops above 9,000 bucks, boom, all the way, for the next year or two, basically 63,000 bucks. The time before that we crossed down was where? It was right fucking here, right on the 20th of October. 20th of October, does that ring any bells? That does ring a bell, as that was one of your failed China rallies right here, I believe it was. Yes, 14th to 28th of October right there. Boom, bounces off the 20 simple, rejects, lower high, boom, down, next one, then completely fails, and well, the rest is history after that one. By the way, should also be denoted that does fail along the 9 exponential moving average right here, which I do represent as this kind of like lighter bluish color. Anyways, what was the example that we had before that? Well, to the upside right here from 4 to 14,000 bucks, not bad. And then we have another down signal over here on the bull trap in, of course, 2018, where Bitcoin rallies off the 20 simple, boom, gets rejected around the 9 exponential, comes back down, puts in another failed rally, and then for the next year, just straight down pretty much. We have a couple of, we have only 2 other examples, one to the upside and one to the downside after that. This one to the upside over here, getting mostly the 2016 to 2018 market, and then the one to the downside on this bull trap over here. Again, a rally around the 20 simple, rallies up actually a little bit above the 9 exponential average in this case, but that was your next failed rally. So in the current context of price action, again, if Bitcoin does fail to close above 42,000 bucks essentially by end of Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, we will inevitably see this cross to the downside. And this is a signal that has, for all purposes, has worked out perfectly in Bitcoin's history. Now, with that in mind, what are we doing that's very similar to the last few attempts? Well, we're bouncing off the 20 simple right now. 9 exponential moving averages where? About 46,000 bucks. Rather interesting now, isn't it? And if we do see any sort of weakness around there, which would be, by the way, your traditional bull trappy zone, as that is right fucking around. It's this area right here on a bearish trace between the 0.5 and the 618. That would be a damn good bull trap. And if I'm giving my personal opinion on what I think this market's going to do, again, this is not technical analysis. What I'm about to say, this is crystal ball bullshit that you should not listen to, and I probably shouldn't even say. But if I gave my general idea of what I think the market probably does do. Again, I'm not even trading off of this either, is I think that we do move up here. I think that we test somewhere into the mid to deep $40,000 level. I think that we get a bull trap over there, come back down and base around mid to low 30,000 bucks once again. And everyone's gonna get super fucking bearish on that next move down to about 30 to 35,000 bucks. And Bitcoin probably holds the lows. Now, is that historically what we have seen in the past? No, we've actually always seen Bitcoin make new lows after that signal is given. But I'd give it a chance here, man. I'd give it a chance, at least for the time being. So yes, there are still several things both going for the bulls and bears, but we need to come up with a full conclusive view of this. Yes, there's plenty more other things to be looking at as well, but overall, I do think that this is very, very warranted to understand, not because it's destined to happen, not because I'm guaranteeing that we're going to get a bull trap somewhere around here, assuming that Bitcoin even gets there in the fucking first place. I mean, this is a major assumption, but if we do see any sort of a weakness over here, again, I really would be looking for Bitcoin to come back down below $40,000, and could we still potentially break down lower to like 25 or 20? It's possible, yes, but again, first things first, I want to see it's actually got a weekly downtrend, and right now we do not have a weekly downtrend. My fear is, though, my big fear here is that Bitcoin does pop up only to give a lower high on the weekly, which would yet again be one of those signals that has never failed within the history of Bitcoin, where we essentially do get continuation, and in this direction that would not be good for the boo laws, as you probably already know. Anyways, with all of this said, I do still hold up some hope, and again, if Bitcoin trades above $50,000, especially on a daily closure, I'd be looking for a run at the prior highs, into somewhere around $60,000, and something new is going on at that point. But at least for right now, again, kind of wrapping everything up, short term, medium term, I do think that Bitcoin has some more upside here. I would express caution, however, in the deeper $40,000 territory, and then, well, I mean, again, there's no way to actually forecast something like that to begin with. Not that you can forecast anything. It's just probability statistics. And, we're making too many assumptions at that point anyway. So it's, just be impossible to say anything more than that. At the end of the day, I know that like the big thing on YouTube is to give like these amazing and insane price predictions, like 500,000 Bitcoin end of year or 1 million Bitcoin today. It's like, what the fuck? Why are you sounding like a used car salesman? You are cheapening the message of this very interesting and actually impressive asset. But does that mean that we have to go to a fucking 100,000 or 200,000 bucks like this year? Why is that a rule? Who's coming up with this, and why does it even matter? I don't think so. I again, take this one step at a time, because at the end of the day, man, the market is here to do one thing. It's not to go straight to the moon. It's not to go straight to the doom. It's to frustrate the shit out of you. But not necessarily you, but in general, right? Because what do people hate more than anything else? They hate fucking waiting, they hate indecision, and they hate going sideways. And what would be the most just painful thing for this next piece of the mark cycle to do? Sideways in a range between 50,000 and 30,000 bucks. That would just be absolutely fucking painful for the next like half year, and then maybe build out a base as Bitcoin does put in some accumulation. But I do want to reference this just one more time here. Again, we did see obviously Wyckoff distribution at the top. We identified it, especially on this lower low right here, and then confirmed on the lower high right here. Big move below 50,000 bucks about a week later. But more importantly now, this was a Wyckoff distribution on a daily time frame over the course of about 3 months, late February to early mid-May. Now, while we do see some signs of accumulation on Bitcoin in this range right here, it is not on a daily. It is not on a 12-hour. It is on mostly a 4-hour in this case. And it actually does fill the narratives of a Wyckoff accumulation. Yes, I know some people are going to say, but Krown, you need a spring that brings you up. No, you don't. I've seen this a million fucking times. Look, I'm not a Wyckoff expert, but I suspect that a lot of people are talking out of their ass with this case, because Wyckoff really does take a concerted effort to understand, and it's very, very powerful, and I actually do have a lot of respect for it. But the problem is that people, like always, make a goddamn meme out of shit that matters. And in this case right here, do we have that? Yeah, we do. We certainly do. This portion right here is phase 1. Here's our phase 2 right here. And then here would be your spring, essentially. And Bitcoin just kind of marches way upwards and onwards, frustrating the shit out of, would-be bears, as essentially just continues to melt up and putting these higher lows on the short-term timeframes. But here's the thing. Is a daily 3-month-long distribution phase going to be resolved by a 4-hour, 2-week, maybe 3-week long accumulation phase? Probably not, no. So that also kind of plays into my narrative that while Bitcoin likely does have some upside here, I would be cognizant of potential traps in the mid to deep $40,000 territory. And I'll be repeating that ad nauseum until Bitcoin essentially proves itself above there. And yes, long term, I do think that Bitcoin will get above there. Long term, I think Bitcoin will get, 6 digits plus probably. But ultimately, I need to see proof, not promises with this aspect first and foremost. Very frustrated, confirmed, says Damien. Yeah, man, exactly. And that's just a part of the game. And that should be a good signal to yourself as a trader or as an analyst or as an investor, whatever the hell that you might consider yourself to be. That's typically a good sign to yourself that, hey, you're being told something by the market, right? You're being told about something by the market. And realistically, I don't think that there's any like major rush into long-term positions here. I do think that Bitcoin's got some upside. I mean, 3 days looking fine. I think that we even had 3-day hidden bullish evidence confirmed on Ethereum over here. Yes, we did. So Ethereum looking pretty damn good. I still think that it gets up to like $3,400. Looks fine right there. I mean, a lot of the other strong alts are doing about the same thing. Cardano didn't even do it because it's just been a melt up anyways. This one looks like it wants to trade back up north of $2, as we've been saying, just kind of slowly crawling its way. Kusama, same shit. Another one on my list here that's been acting well, hidden bullish divergence on that phantom drive right there, not bad. And Dogecoin, same thing too. Again, I've been giving shit to Dogecoin, but we did say that yesterday or a couple days ago that this one is putting in a higher low right here, and hidden bullish divergence on the daily very likely does give targets into the deep 40s. So at the end of the day, I even get messages about this one too. It's like, Krown, how does it feel to be wrong about Dogecoin? It's like, look, I'm actually short-term bullish on it, just like everything else in this fucking market. But look, come back to me in a year and a half. This thing will come back down below 10 cents. It will. I can almost, I wouldn't say I guarantee it because I'm not going to give you fucking refunds on that. But look, all rallies fail in this thing. It is a fucking meme, and typically memes, while they do take a while to unravel themselves, it will inevitably happen. And you can imagine that any sort of a bull trap on Bitcoin within this region right here is going to be an absolute just fucking catastrophe for something like that, which quite literally has no actual value. I mean, Bitcoin doesn't have any value, but Dogecoin really doesn't have any value. I say that in jest, okay? Just making a joke, all right? Anyways, okay, sweet. I think we can get over to some of the comments right now. And let's see what we got. We have Mr. Adam actually at the very beginning of the stream, before it even started. Wow, that is some serious dedication. By the way, major thank you to Mr. Pedro, and major thanks to Miss Caretaker as well. Holy shit. Dear Lord, man, dear Lord. All right, let's see. Let me just get back onto here. Okay, yes, Adam says Tilray weekly, monthly. We looking at a reversal in motion, further downtrend. Targets keep an eye on for confirmation of on indicators, medium to long term. Okay, Tilray was like the meme stock, like 3 years ago now. Let's see how this one's doing. And this is typically what you can figure for meme stocks, right? It takes a while. It definitely takes a while, but as always, the full rally is retraced and then some. And then yes, this one does look like it's putting in a bit of a reversal right here. The general stock market is bullish, and actually I forgot to go over that as well, but that'd be another point in the Bulaw's case, at least for now. And this one is putting in a higher low and a higher high, bit of a reversal on the weekly here. I do look at this one also as hidden bullish divergence right here. I'd be looking at it likely to pop back up to about $22. Where's your next macro level? Your next macro level is just the last weekly high right here, right around $31. Your macro level to the downside, I would say, is this current higher low. If you are going to be bullish, that's how I'd play it right there. Above $31, I would be looking for this one to slowly work its way all the way up to probably this area over here, wherever this wick came in for a rejection, and also this major breakdown point coming in from March 2019. Sorry, not 3 years ago, more like 2 years ago. But overall, same shit right there. And yes, I do think that this one is going to go for more, or at least I would be biased the upside right now. We do see weekly TSIs having a bit of a bullish reset, so I respect that, at least for the time being. It's okay. Anyways, Colby Duck says, "Que pasa, way? Que pasa, way?" I think that's about as much Spanish as I know. How's Cardano looking? Okay, actually we just perused against it earlier, but it looks fine right here, man. Again, this one already took out its last sort of range highs, I would imagine. Or do we have a wick higher than that? I think that we did yesterday. Let's see. Elsa is trying to cough up a fucking storm. No, actually, we do not have a wick higher than last than the range highs, but this one looks fine right here, man. Again, a pair of higher lows. Look, I'm always gonna like that. The weekly has hidden bullish divergence as well, I imagine, in population. It even closed above all major moving averages last week. Look, this one's definitely one of the strong ones, alongside your Maddox, alongside your Kusama maybe too, and Ethereum actually as well. But this one would certainly be of one of the better ones. We do see daily TSI went for the full bullish reset and then back up. Really fucking good shit right there. Hidden bullish evidence all along the way. I think that is going to actually take out this range probably today, and I'd be looking at targets, as we said, for the past like week or so, somewhere north of $2, like 205 to 215 region, and potential for more. This one, if Bitcoin gets going, probably even guns for a new high. Actually, this is definitely one of the better charts here. Again, puts in a consolidation after breaking its prior all-time high in December 2017. So I typically really like like this. We saw the same thing on Ethereum and Bitcoin as well before they went on for like another 3x run, past their prior highs. So Cardano acting very, very well. I think it deserves a lot of respect here. And even if we go down to the short-term timeframes, I mean, it's just stair stepping up, man. So yeah, I respect it, and I'd be looking for this one to actually be one of the harbingers of short-term upside to come here. Anyways, Jason Townsend says, me, daddy. I have me-me'd you, I guess, sir. It sounds so wrong, sir. Shibley, hey, what's up, Shibley? Oh, baby, let's get some fire emojis in the chat right now. My fucking man. Good to see you, brother. You're pretty much an OG of this cave now, man. You've been here for a long time. Scott Carney says, I'm Scott Derper. Okay, but are you the real Scott Carney or not? Are you the real Scott Carney, like Mr. Harmonics himself, or not? I really want to get a harmonics guy on here, either Mitch Ray or if we can get Sanctum from the Discord, maybe even just both of them. I'd love to talk to those guys because they've made me definitely I mean, it's not necessarily that I'm like a non-believer of harmonics, just I want to know more about it because there's a lot of crossover between what I do and how I trade and how harmonic traders look at patterns and whatnot. But I don't really look at it in the exact same way, but we trade it the same way, which is extremely fucking interesting to me, and I like to get to the bottom of that. I need to know. Sav Dylan says funds are in fact very sofu. ABNB daily. Thank you so very much. Okay, no problem, man. What is ABNB? Is this Airbnb? It is Airbnb. I thought it'd just be BNB, but I guess that's bed and breakfast or something. Anyways, Airbnb. Let's go to a weekly. Or did you give me a time frame on this one? No, you did not. No, you did not. Oh, no. Yes, you did. A daily. Wow. Shitty chart, man. Really, really awful chart. Do I think that it gets a pitiful rally here? Perhaps yes. Maybe back up to like 155, 160. If we're looking at the daily specifically. Yeah, it has a bit of a short-term, low in here. I would not be looking for like a mega reversal on this one. Upside's probably capped somewhere around like 159, 160-ish region. I'm always gonna hate a chart like this, man. I'm always gonna fucking hate a chart like this that just retraces its whole fucking IPO gains. It's not good, but you do get that relief rally over here. I'd be looking for a little bit of short-term up, and then I'd be very skeptical within this region for any sort of weakness right around here. That'd be the same thing as Bitcoin bull trapping in like the deeper $40,000 territory. So I'm not necessarily saying that it's gonna completely fail right here, but I'd be looking for weakness after a little bit of short-term continuation, and that's pretty much it. Bull trap me harder, sir, says Damien. It's not me that you have to worry about, sir. I'm not the market operator in this bitch. All right, so Scott Carney says NOK daily weekly. I'm all in. Oh dear lord. Oh dear lord. All right, Nokia. Yeah, that's a great Finnish company. Nokia, the only fucking Finnish company that exists in the world, I think. Again, it looks good short-term. I think that we looked at this one yesterday, hit and bullish divergence off that last low, pretty much around the range highs already. I do think you are looking at continuation on the weekly towards 590-ish region. That'd be the next sort of testing region that I'd potentially look for a bit of a short-term pullback. I don't know how long-term you are on this one. I don't know why the hell I have this marked out over here. I must have been charting this one like ages ago. But areas of interest, the upside are going to be above that, about 660, and then this range high right here, 875 would be a big one for me. Do I think that it's reversing long term for forever and it's all well and good? I'm not so convinced on that, but at least it does have a monthly higher low, and if it does start to take out like that 650, 660 high, then yeah, I'd look for it to run into like the mid 8s and come back to it after that. Again, not really the best chart going straight down ever since June 2000. 20 years of just fucking downside, man. Pretty nasty. Never going to be a humongous fan of that. All right, sweet. Holy fuck. All right, Elsa's not sending chats right now. She's being lazy. Disgusting. Well, I don't see them. Well, they're gone, sir. I'm gonna go check out Pedro's chats. He's more on the ball. All right. Elsa gets very pissed off when I talk to her like that. Scott Carney says, Rye-C-E-Y. Okay, Rye-C-E... Why this thing? Oh, Rolls Royce. Why does Rolls Royce trade OTC? It must trade on like London Stock Exchange or something. This would make very little sense to trade OTC, or maybe Rolls Royce is just not what it meant to, or not is not what it used to be. I do think it's putting a short-term low right here. You see a chain of behavior on the volume signature. Look, I fucking hate this chart long-term, obviously, but short-term, does it have a move back up to like 180 and maybe continues up to like 2.5 over time? Probably yes, but goddamn, man, finding a monthly death cross is pretty difficult to do. But you've done it, Scott. You've actually done it. Yeah, I do think that has some upside here. Weekly Jewel is actually given a little bit of a it's not like the most perfect buy signal of all time, but I do think that has some upside here. Here's the thing though, you got lower highs coming in as long as you're below what is this area right here? Yeah, about 230 to 250-ish region. So as long as you're below there, it's still pressure down long term, but I think that you got some short-term upside, and then be cognizant of that area right there is what I'd say. Julius Crummer says Matic USD on the 4-hour consolidation bull breakout. Yeah, so Matic's kind of interesting right here. While it has been one of the better actors just in general, and look, there's nothing bearish about this weekly right here. I do think that this one will run for probably new highs over, sometime this month. If we go down to the lower term timeframes, look, I could just as easily look for a move down to about 140 as I could for a move back up to the top side of the range at 250. I guess I can't really have a strong opinion on that right now. Do we see any divergent signals over here? Not really, no. I mean, technically hidden bearish divergence, but it's not even playing out there. I mean, this would be, it kind of is, but not something that I'd put a whole hell of a lot of weight on in this case. Daily still looks fine to me. Look, I think that this thing can easily, have a little bit of a pullback there, but my main point on something like this is that all higher term time frames are still very much bullish. Weekly and monthly are powerful as fuck. Sir, do you need something down your throat to help? Oh, okay, you're just coughing, for fuck's sake. All right, must be those allergies at it again. Anyways, yeah, looking at this right here, Matt, I don't see anything that's like concerning about this long term. But you asked specifically about the 4-hour, and I'd have to say on the 4-hour, man, I don't really have a strong opinion. If you put a gun to my head and said, Krown, give me an opinion or die, I think that we're looking at a move either today or tomorrow, tomorrow being Friday, that is, with BBWP this low on a 4-hour. I guess I'd just go with the trend in this case and probably say to the upside at like 2.25 to 250-ish region. Look, I'd keep my focus on the weekly and monthly in this case. This one's fucking good, man. Very, very good. And closing on, this was the only one to fully retrace the dump on a closing basis from a couple weeks ago. There's nothing bad about that in my experience at all, at fucking all. I really, really like that chart. Really, really like that chart, and it deserves a lot of respect too. Like the ones that are acting well right now, these are the ones to be paying attention to. We had a conversation like this yesterday where someone was essentially postulated this idea where should I buy coins that are beat up versus the ones that are, doing well right now? No. That's completely the wrong way to be thinking about it in my experience. You want to be rewarding the ones that are acting well while the general market is going down. If you have to make excuses for your shitcoin due to the market conditions, that's not a good sign. It doesn't act on its own. It's not autonomous. It's just going to be a more emotional brother of Bitcoin's movements in general. So that's what I'd say about that. Rascal77 says, Elsa, please check out Abby the Spoon Lady on YouTube. I think you'd be a natural. Abby the Spoon Lady, would you like to check her out? Do you know anything about her? Anyways, Elsa's busy at work right now. You can't get in her face. Anyways, let's see. Uncle Alejandro, Mr. Alejandro, now that you're fully on board the poop coin train, thoughts on dominant chart bounce looking a bit weak so far. Okay, so Bitcoin dominance right here. Here's the thing. It actually does look pretty damn weak right there. But overall, look, if Bitcoin breaks this range, which I think it's gearing up to do, like probably today. Sorry, I don't know about probably today, but probably this week or next week. We're probably going to see altcoins get smacked on the face with that. So anywhere with Bitcoin, anywhere above $41,000 or below about $32,000, we'll call it 34 on, maybe on a weekly. Then I'd be looking for this to melt up once again. This one can reverse on a fucking dime, but the more that Bitcoin ranges, yes, the more that I would be looking for general continuation of the downside. Looking at the daily here, I mean, again, I don't trust any indicators on this at all. Nothing. I really don't trust anything as far as that goes. Just trend and structure in this case, and actually it would be down. So you are, I mean, technically speaking, if you're just reading the chart straight up, you're 100% correct, man. You're 100% correct. I'm just going off of what typically happens when Bitcoin actually gets moving on a time frame that matters. And in this case, we have a clear and obvious consolidation between about $41,000 the upside versus about 32 to the downside. I would imagine if Bitcoin breaks that, we're probably going to see this shoot up, potentially even all the way to like 50, maybe even low 50s over time. But could I be wrong with that? Yeah, I mean, if Bitcoin continues to range here, then we'll just continue to see that fall off the cliff a bit more. Pablo Sal says, bonjour, Krown, bonjour, mon ami. Can you look at BBBY stock hourly daily? Okay. Triple B, Y. This is Bed. Oh, this is Bed Bath and Beyond. Looking good on the daily. Looking very good on the daily. You don't need me to tell. You don't need me to tell you that. 4 hour. It's all in the volume signature right there. It's all on the wrist. It's all in the volume signature. Look at this, man. The volume signature is actually going up and up and up as this rally does continue to evolve. That's a good sign. Looking at the daily over here, same thing. And this one actually does look like it has a MAC reversal in place. If we go to the weekly, monthly, yep, golden cross on the weekly is literally going to be confirmed this week with any sort of a closure above probably $34. And I'll be looking for this one to continue the rally, generally speaking, with major areas of interest along the way. That would be one right here at about 51 and some odd change, and then two right here, not a humongous one. Big ones are way the fuck back at this high structure over here, around 74 to $75. Jesus Christ, that is quite the chart there. This one's seen glory and doom all in its lifetime in the last like 30 years or so. Rather interesting, actually. All right, BK says, hello, BK. Brian, is this Brian Kelly? Is this the Brian Kelly? Can you look at Matic USD on the 4-hour daily weekly? I think we already, we pretty much hit all of that. I don't have anything new to say about that. I know that I'm just reading this comment a little bit later, but hopefully you were there for the explanation about 5 minutes ago. You know, again, if you put a gun in my head, I think it's bullish in all time frames. All higher term time frames are obviously bullish. Short term time frames, could we have a short term pullback down to like 168 or maybe even 140? Possible, yes, but I would be looking at that as an opportunity. This is a very good chart right here. Very, very good chart right here. Again, the best chart in cryptocurrency that I am aware of at this moment. Basil, what's up, Basil Jabber? Love your work, bro. Hey, thanks, man. XRP 2 to 4 hour and daily. Okay, all right, we got some XRP action going on over here. If XRP is looking good, you know it's good for the market. And let's see. All right, so you're looking at daily and 1 and 4 hour. Do I have that? Or 2 and 4 hour? Daily looks fine to me. Did close above the range highs as well. I'd be looking for this one to trade back up somewhere around like 1 1/4, maybe one. What is it? Or sorry, no, not 1 1/4. More like 115 to 118 ish region. If Bitcoin starts to push through about 41,000 bucks, I'd be looking for this one to trade up higher than that towards maybe like 135, 140-ish region. In general, we have another higher low right here, and this one technically does have a slightly higher high as well. So I do like the way that's operating right now. Daily RSI is fine, just rejecting the bearish control zone. Daily TSI turning up. You know, I'm going to favor the upside here. I think that it pushes through. 4 hours is just constructive move to the upside as well. Short term, probably looking at a move towards about 114 region. Looks fine. And by the way, we have hidden bullish evidence right here. 4-hour TSI is nice and angled to the upside, and we do have 4-hour BBWP very, very low. So this one's probably looking for a move today or tomorrow. Again, I think that this market's actually probably ready here for this next short-term move. Very, very likely. We've been slowly seeing it work its way up, and I think we're looking for, you know, a bit of a culmination of of the consolidation breakout relatively soon. Probably, I don't think any more than a week, maybe even within these next couple days here. All right, Super Glue Lily says, hey, how's it going? It's going all right, man. I've actually got a really good night of sleep last night, and things are nice and bright and sunny outside, which means absolutely nothing because I have no fucking control over the weather anyway. So it's a bad way to be placing my own mental, health in. Anyways, can we look at KNC BTC? KNC, okay, if I remember properly, this is Kyber Network Crystal bullshit from like way back when they had partnerships with Vitalik or some bullshit like that too. Let's see how this one's done over the years. Exactly as predicted. Exactly as fucking predicted. Just straight to the fucking floor. Jesus Christ, man. Terrible, terrible chart. But is this one looking for some upside right here? Yes, it is. The junk does rally last, and this one's going to get its chance in the sun. I'd be looking for a weekly rally somewhere around 9,400 Satoshis. We do see weekly TSI turning up as well. Weekly RSI constructive. Weekly Joule actually giving off a little bit of a soft buy signal there too. Monthly is a bit of a reversal here as well. We do have a higher low in place. I think this one does trade up towards about 9,400. Now, what time frames did you ask about? Daily and weekly. Okay, so yeah, you are higher term time frame here. I do think that this one's going to fall through to the upside essentially. You see a clear and obvious bear trap right here. Golden cross coming along the way on the daily. Daily TSI turning up. Daily RSI is fine. I do like it at least for now. But goddamn, man, it is very interesting to see. It's very interesting to see this one over the long period of time because I remember hearing about. I actually do remember this one from 2017. A lot of people were on the train for this one saying, I'm buying it because it's low. Well, this one, it seems like it actually went lower and 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 lower. And then there you go. But yeah, man, it does have some upside right there. And I guess that's just the portion of the market stuff that we're in right now. Anyways, Marcus Ruckman says, can you explain why KNC is $5 on Binance US, but $2.65 everywhere else? I would imagine it has something to do with if it is quite literally exactly as you're saying, I would imagine the biggest differential would be, I don't know, maybe the lack of arbitrage opportunities on there. Let's see. Well, let's first confirm this. Remember, don't trust, verify. 255 over here on regular Binance. What about on Coinbase? Is this on Coinbase? Is this on Dirtbase? And see USD. It is. Wow, it can't be that bad then. Yep, 261. Okay, so there's actually a great differential here, which is already rather apparent. Let's see, what about Finex? 260. Okay, and then what about Binance US? Yeah, 520. Okay, so my guess would be, and look, I don't trade on any of those exchanges. I don't want anything to do with any one of those fucking exchanges. Okay, if I were to guess what is probably responsible for the differential between these, it's probably because Binance US has stricter rules with who they let on and who they don't let on, and because of that, there's probably there's probably some discrepancy between the arbitrage that you can actually pull in reasonably well. In this space, it is actually relatively difficult to do arbitrage in comparison to traditional markets. Now, I'm saying this as a former market maker, authorized trader, whose main business was arbitrage. But in traditional markets, it's completely different because you have like centralized entities, which you're now going to understand why centralization in trading exchange is actually a very good thing. And the fact with that is that what we needed to do is we needed to cross positions amongst different exchanges. And because the different exchanges could have a centralized entity, our clearing firm, which was for myself Bank of America Merrill Lynch, would essentially verify us and say, yeah, he's good. He's got positions over here. He can offset this. He's going to be good for the money. Whereas in cryptocurrency, you don't have that. So in that case, I would imagine it does make arbitrage a lot more difficult without a central clearing agency. I mean, how the fuck can you do that efficiently? And I imagine that's actually why we see a lot of massive spreads. And I'd imagine that Binance US probably has different rules, and that's why they made a Binance US and don't just have Binance itself. So that would be my guess. Do I actually know what's going on there? No, I don't, because I also have very little interest in things like that. But if I had to guess, that would probably be it. Okay, sweet. Kyle Wiggins says ET energy transfer. Okay, daily, weekly. All right. Symbol ET energy transfer. Okay, so a real stock. Oh, nice. Okay. Daily looking good, flagging out and breaking whatever trend line I have there long term. Yeah. Weekly looking good as well. A little bit of a weekly reversal in progress here. I'd be looking for a move back up somewhere between about 11.5 to 12.5 bucks. Could it go more for that over time? Potentially yes, but look, I'm never going to like a chart that looks like this long term. We do have a few good things going on here though. We do have a change of behavior as far as volume signature goes. We do have weekly higher lows and a slew of higher highs as well. Even on the monthly, we do have a higher low as well, but not necessarily a higher high just yet. So while I do think it has some short-term upside, short-term on a weekly and monthly, right? To let's just call it like 12, maybe a little more than 12 bucks. I would be cognizant of the long-term downtrend, but at least for now, yeah, probably some upside. And again, if we, what I really should have done at the beginning of this video here is bring everything in with traditional markets. Says, everything's pretty much correlated with each other. And what do you know? NASDAQ, what are we doing? What are we doing on NASDAQ? We hold the range lows, and I'd still stick with what I said yesterday. I think that this one trades up to 14,000 bucks. Daily TSI now officially crossing above the bullish buy zone, so that's good. Daily RSI is fine as well. I don't really have, it's more neutral than anything, but slightly bullish twist there. And SPY futures, same shit as well. I mean, this one's just stair stepping its way up. Another higher low right there too. I'd say any sort of move above 1st of June, and I'd be looking for new all-time highs on this asset. All momentum oscillators are fine right here. I'd be generally looking north side for the time being. Okay, cool. Okay, so we got that one. Winning Choice 87. What's up, man? Hello, sir. How you doing, man? Please, VeChain 4-hour daily against US dollar. All right, yeah, let's check out the old VeChain here. This is Josh's baby. Let's see how this one's holding up long term. Okay, so then you said daily, weekly. Is that right? No, daily. 4-hour daily. Okay. Weekly actually does have a higher low in place, which is nice. So hidden bullish divergence will be a potential if this one can actually confirm that by end of this weekend. Daily, same thing. I mean, this one's already retesting the range highs, has a higher low in place. This actually would be among the charts that is acting a little bit better within this realm. Did get a little bit more beat up on the downside, to be fair, but overall, daily TSI turning up, daily RSI rejecting the bearish control zone, right around the top side of this daily range. I'd be looking for this one to pop up somewhere like around 16.5, maybe even 18.5 cents. 4-hour is looking like what? 4-hour is just looking like it wants to continue up to like 14.36. Sir, I think you need like some tea. I think you need some tea or something. Anyways. Yeah, I'm basically short-term, medium-term bullish on this one, in line with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin actually almost at 39,000 bucks now. Hey, not bad. There you go, you old shitcoin, you. There you go. You gotta love it, man. You gotta fucking love it. Anyways, let me just make sure that my own positions are doing well over here. They are. Hey, not bad. It's kind of easy to do when everything's just straight up right now. Oh, you gotta enjoy it, man. You gotta fucking love it. All right, let's see. Sabu says, hey, Krown sir. Hello, Sabu sir. Can you please check out KSM daily, weekly? Yeah. Again, another one of these more impressive charts here, I'd say. Even the 4 hours already breaking the range highs. Good. Nice. This one's already taken a leg up. Actually, the daily already broke the range highs yesterday. Yeah, that's right. We looked at this earlier. I do think this one will get general continuation up to this level, somewhere around here. Actually, I already have it at one of my major levels. Oh, fuck, this is already at the 618, to be fair. This one is acting better, relatively speaking, than a lot of other things taking that first leg up. We do see daily TSI ticking up here, daily RSI showing the same sort of signals that we saw on several others, even actually confirming real bullish divergence over here too, which is rather impressive. Now reaching back up for the bullish control zone. Look, short term, can this one pull back a little bit? Actually, short term, this one looks fine to me too. Look, man, I'd just generally be looking for some more upside as long as this one's above 415. Areas of interest, the upside, seeing as we already, we're kind of getting a small rejection right here, but not anything too concerning. I'd be looking for this one to probably trade somewhere up to, around 550-ish region. We did hit our 460 target from yesterday, so maybe a little bit of sideways here short term, but ultimately, this one still looks fine to me, and actually do think that this is yet again another one of the more another one of the better charts here. Even hidden bullish divergence potentially populated itself on the weekly as well. Definitely respectable. Okay, let's see. Michael Crook says, hey, Krown, check out WKHS. How do I know this? What does this name sound familiar for? WKHS. What do I know this from? Workhorse Group. No, I don't think I know this one. Looks to me like it's going to put in a bit of a rally right here. Do we have Phantom Div? No, we do not. But a rejection of the bearish control zone. Very likely to get a move back up somewhere around the 21 in this case, about $15 or so. I actually do like the short term on this one, at least for a little bit more continuation. Again, you do have a general downtrend, obviously, so it is risk on, of course, but anywhere from here to like $18 is fair game in my opinion. This one can rally a bit more. Now, here's the thing. If this one can actually start to close weekly dildos above the 55, which is actually 1555, which is a nice little alliteration right there, I would extend this run significantly, in fact, all the way up to this range over here at about just under $30. But what time frame are you looking at? You're looking at one in 4 hour. Okay, so that's going to change the analysis completely. 4 hour actually looking okay here. Probably a little bit of short-term continuation, about 12.5. Hourly is continuation as well. Target would be about 12.5 or so. So fair enough. Okay. At least for the short term. Aaron White says, can you check out T Fuel? Yeah, man, we can check out T Fuel, but just one at a time. We do have a lot of people here, and I do want to be cognizant of that. And I want I want people to have a generally good experience as much as possible. No time frame given. What the fuck, man? Just a bunch of tickers, but no time frames. Again, this one's flagging out at a high level. It's probably fine. Range highs are going to be right around here. This one actually acting a little bit better, relatively speaking, than a lot of things within this market. You got an obvious range going on. This one looks like it wants to test the tops of the range. We just got to cross between the 21 and 55. Pretty damn good one right there. Going to give me a general daily bullish bias. Daily TSI turning up around the bullish bias zone as well. Daily RSI neutral to bullish. Yeah, I don't know how long it stays within this trading range here, but I would have a natural bullish bias on this one. Resolution above about 40.5 cents, and you can target the prior all-time high after that, and probably new all-time highs as well. See what the weekly looks like. Yeah, again, weekly is just clearing obvious reaccumulation right here. Hidden bullish divergence is going to be the key indication on this one, as it does put in, the structure. It's probably going to again for new all-time highs, honestly, over the next couple of weeks, assuming that this condition is met. However, how would you confirm this on the weekly? I'd say any sort of a close here or higher, especially anywhere above the 10 simple will do it for me. Daily. Again, I don't know how long it's going to stay in this range, but it does look like it wants to resolve the range to the upside. I think another respectable one here. In fact, you guys, the chat has been really good at finding a lot of the more respectable coins within this market. It's kind of funny because I've been saying that a lot of these are actually like decent, but the majority of altcoins do not look like this, to be fair. So it's good on you, actually. It's good on you. For finding the good ones here. And that's awesome, man. Yeah, respect the good ones, absolutely. Fucking by the dip says, when Chainlink Moon? When Chainlink Moon? Well, it already went to the moon, that's the problem. So you have to go back down to Earth after that, refuel, and then maybe you get to go back to the moon again. In this case, Chainlink does have that higher low in place. It is not testing the range highs just yet, but if the rest of the market's going to take it out, mostly led by Bitcoin, then I'd look for this one to do the same thing as well. Now, your obvious areas of interest on the daily here are going to be your $34 level right there. Any sort of a closure above there or a wick higher than last week's high at 35.43. I'd be looking for this one to trade up. short term to about 39 bucks, and then probably does tag somewhere around 42 and a half to maybe even 43. But this one it's not relatively strong, not relatively weak, kind of right there alongside Bitcoin here, which is actually a little bit unfortunate to see because Link has been one of the better actors, for the last few years here. But this one, still one of the best charts, definitely, especially with all this history here. But it's not leading right now in the same way that we see a lot of the more strong ones lead, but it's certainly not relatively weak either. If it was relatively weak, we'd expect to see it around the range lows here, but we don't see that. This one's grinding around the range highs, I suppose. And again, I do think that it will resolve there, and you'll probably see a move into like the deep 30s, maybe low 40s or so. And then you got to play the game of, is this a bull trap or not? Because the monthly looks like absolute shit, as do most things. I mean, we can do the same treatment for Ethereum as well. And look, it's not like just because we have a long-legged Doge yield does not mean that it's implied that it will inevitably put in reverse right here. It just puts in the possibility of it. And if it does reverse by taking out the low side of it at 1755, you can expect that this thing will come down harshly, probably even below $1,000. But here's the thing, and I actually forgot to mention this coming into this month's closure. By the way, another point in the Bulaw's court would be the accumulation distribution indicator over here as well. Anyways, but what I wanted to mention actually was Ethereum. Ethereum did actually close above the topside Krown band once again, and right now we've only just based upon it for the lows of this month thus far. So, technically speaking, this actually is still it's still trending on the monthly as far as I'm concerned. I mean, obviously it's trending on the monthly, like hasn't even put in a higher low just yet ever since March 2020 at 140 bucks, which is also concerning because you got a lot of airtime between where we're at right now and putting in potentially another higher low in the monthly. But hey, respect it while it's doing its thing. And again, another one of the better charts, I would say. Would have a general bullish bias on that one. Okay, hey, what's up, Solverine? Good morning, sir. Yeah, I'm getting tan as all hell right now, man. It's actually a little bit crazy. Mind checking Tell daily, like Telcoin or TELL? Let's see what this is. Tellurian, yeah, I think that's one that you're interested in. Okay, daily, weekly, monthly. Am I wrong in interpreting yesterday as a backfill? Moon titties is yesterday a backfill? Well, it depends what time frame. On a monthly, obviously not, but you probably already know that. On a weekly, obviously not. On a daily, yes, you'd be wrong on interpreting this as a backfill right here. This is a bearish engulfing. Well, it's technically not a bearish engulfing dildo, but it's a rejection. This is not a backfill. When you trade below the low, when you trade like literally below the low of yesterday's open, then it is no longer a backfill in this case. And in this one does have a little bit of pressure down. It looks like short term, but weekly, well, no, weekly is a clear rejection right there. Weekly and monthly is a clear rejection right there. And I believe I did say on this one, 550-ish region where I'd be looking towards, and we did head around there. Look, I wouldn't necessarily get bearish on this one just yet. I do think that it probably gives another try to the upside. Wouldn't be surprised to see this thing stab up towards like $8 or $9, but again, another chart long term that I really dislike seeing shit like this, man. Yes, you do have a change of behavior over here. Yes, you do have a higher low on the monthly, but this one can take its time, man. I would not feel too compelled by this one on its own. I think it's going to take some time going sideways at the very least on a daily. Can trade back down to like 3.25 or so, put in another range, and then try again to the upside overall. But this one is pretty hot for right now. We do see this last high getting BBWP pretty deep into the red zone there, about 97 percentile. Yeah, it's technically non-extreme compared to March 2020, but neither is this price action really, to be related to that anyways. And I didn't take a sippy sip of this water, man. My throat is already failing me. Okay, there we go. A lot of people saying it's a bull trap already. Look, man, you actually can't trap a bull in a bull market. That's the funny thing about a bull trap and also a bear trap. Can't trap a bear in a bear market, and you can't trap a bull in a bull market. In this case right here, we still don't have like the full-on confirmations of like a macro downtrend. I mean, Bitcoin is, for what it's worth right now, putting in higher lows, but again, as I expressed earlier, it's still under a lot of pressure. Anyways, okay. Hey, what's up, Poncho? Good to see you, man. +1 for Sanctum Chat. Fuck yeah, man. That'd be super interesting. I've been finding fibs to be an edge for me lately, so diving into some dang fib weird ass rabbit hole would be fun. Yeah, man. He's very, very good with it. Like very fucking good with it. And I absolutely love like comparing my sort of strategies with his. And a lot of time we're like doing the same thing, but coming at it from completely different angles, which is just so bizarre. But Fair enough. I mean, that probably should happen in a good trading plan anyways. Burn to Earn says, hello again. Thoughts on SHIB, Shiba Inu. Okay, so SHIB token. All right. Okay, already based off the name, definitely going to be good. Looking at the daily right here. Look, man, this one's definitely relatively weak in comparison to the rest of this market. It did actually even put in a lower low right here, ever so slightly. But look, man, the market moves together. So if Bitcoin moves up here, which I think it will, you'll probably see this one move up to like, I don't know, 1250. This is in dollars, by the way. So that's not 1250, but that's like 1/10,000th of a cent. Somewhere around there. Yeah, it probably moves up to the 21 or so. Look, I fucking despise charts like this, especially on meme bullshit that just has no business being traded. But look, I'm not the I'm not the authority to decide what is legitimate, what is not. But at the end of the day, this one's going to move the rest of the market. It's certainly relatively weak. So, all things considered, if you're just trying to, just buy and pray, this would not be my choice for that. I would reward one of the better ones. But hey, man, it is up to you at the end of the day. And that is not to say that it does not have upside from here. I do think that it does have some upside. Again, this one's so deep. It's so deep. I think it's like 1/10,000th, 1/10,000th of a cent, if that even makes sense. I don't even know that number is so small. I can't even say it. I don't even know it. Gemini Athlete MMA. That is a mouthful, sir. Hey, Krown, can you check out SM on the 1 and 4 hour? Sure. And daily. And can you also elaborate on membership program? Is it just Bitcoin and Trish markets too? Membership program. What do you mean? Like the TA program? Well, I would suggest that you watch the video, as I always say. That's going to explain who it's for and who it's not for. And to answer a very blanket question here, and I understand that you're probably just new to this and you don't know any better. Look, trading amongst different markets is more or less the same. I started out in traditional markets. I learned probably 90, maybe even more than 90% of the content that I have in the TA program, assuming that that's what you're talking about to begin with, that I learned from traditional markets that I essentially use in cryptocurrency markets. And that's just going to be, pretty much more or less the same. And it's consistent amongst Forex, amongst commodities. Yes, there's slight differences depending upon, nuances with opens and closes and whatnot. And some indicators seem to work better in markets than other indicators. For example, like Stokes, I hate in traditional markets, but in Bitcoin land, they're actually not so bad. And several other ones like that. And that actually is covered in the nuances. Anyways, I would suggest, based off your question, seeing as and look, do not take this personally, but it sounds like you're very, very new. I would not suggest any program. Or if anything, maybe like the Neophyte, because that's so fucking cheap and just it's a lot more streamlined towards extremely new people. I would suggest checking out all of the free content on YouTube if you're really, really interested in it. The TA 101 playlist is there for you and available at any time. That's going to give you an idea if like you even want to fucking do this to begin with, because there's a very high probability that you won't once you kind of know what you're getting into. So I do want to give you a warning there. Anyways, you want to look at symbol SM. What the hell is this thing? Is it a crypto? Oh dear lord. Or is it a stock? It's a stock. It's definitely a stock. Okay, sweet. Hey, god damn it, piece of shit. All right, let's see. SM Energy Corporation. Oh, it's the same chart. All right, we actually did get it. Yeah, this one's pushing through here. This one actually is pushing through, and we do have a weekly reversal in place as well. So you have to respect that. I'd be looking for the weekly to trade up to like 3280-ish region, 3250-ish region. Now, what did you even... Oh, you're looking at a 1 and 4 hour. Okay. All right. So very short term. It's breaking out right here. It's actually fine. I'd be looking for 4 hour continuation here. Hourly is going to be the same shit as well. Maybe extremely short-term pullback. I mean, this one can pull back all the way to $23 and be of no issue. Generally speaking, though, I would be looking for more upside, and the next short-term target would be right around here on this breakdown point at about 2880-ish region for that one. I don't know how long it takes to get there, but I do favor the upside short term. Pablo South says AMC drama for the baby mom. Please hourly daily. All right, no problem, man. All right, so symbol AMC. So this is like the new meme stock, similar to GameStop was just a few months ago, wasn't it? And what did we say yesterday, or what did we say over the past couple of weeks? The breakout was what was confirmed over here. That gave us, actually, holy shit, it just completely obliterated my targets. Actually, completely obliterated my targets right there. Holy fuck. 35 and a half bucks was the area. So this is a clear and obvious short squeeze going on. Look, I really don't trust indicators in situations like this, but this one very likely does move higher from here. How high does it go? I have no fucking clue, man. This is meme bullshit, and I know that you're just probably asking this as a bit of a meme and everything. But I just want I want to be very clear in stating this. When it comes to shit like this, I do not trust indicators. I do not trust like general things. What I'm looking for is some sort of a culmination of a just extreme event. How can we judge that? What we want to see is we want to see something like volatility get way the hell up there on a higher time frame, like a weekly, especially a daily, which we're not there just yet. So I am led to believe that this one does have some more upside here. And it's probably going to go the way of GameStop as well. Now, do I think it's going to go as high as GameStop? Probably not. I mean, that game has already been played. And look, the GameStop saga is going to end in the same way that this one ends, in the same way that Dogecoin ends. It's going to take some time. It's probably going to take, these things can take like 1.5 to 2 years from the actual start to like really, to really fucking come down and go for the full retrace. But it will inevitably happen. For now, I would actually still look for us some upside on this one. There's absolutely zero fucking way for me to come up with any sort of targeted regions. I'd really only be looking at something like this to kind of give me an extreme read, and then I want to see something that's like an obvious reversal. And when it happens, it's going to be obvious as all hell. It'll be just one humongous, typically shooting star dildo or like a bearish engulfing, and then you get to play some downside, and then it's going to go sideways for like half a year to a year, and then you'll eventually just slowly bleed out. I'm telling you, the same thing will happen to GameStop. The same thing will happen to Dogecoin and all of the meme stocks that these sorts of games are being played with. But look, the people that you're playing against in a case like this, they can play this game much longer than you, and they will play this game longer than you, and they can wait years. They can wait a long fucking time, with holding these things down. So you play shit like this at your own peril. But yeah, I do think it has more upside. To be fair, probably trades up to $100. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing like trade up, maybe even north of $100, and then slam back down to like, I don't know, 70 or 80 all in the same day, and then you get your first major pullback, and then it trades sideways and gets boring as all hell for it could be like 6 months to a year, maybe even longer than that. It's going to take a long time, man. Investing Texas. Hello, sir. What's up, man? I hope you're well. Thanks, man. I hope you're well too. I appreciate that. Can I get your analysis on nano? Oh, my nanos, sir. My fucking nanos. Yes. We can look at some good old nanos over here. Yeah. So while the rest of the market was making new all-time highs from your 2017 shitcoins, this one not so much. But what are we doing over here? Daily is looking, daily's going to fall through with the rest of the market. This one's neither relatively strong nor relatively weak. Long term, it's certainly relatively weak, as it did not make new all-time highs with the rest of the market. But where's your areas of interest right here? You got about 890 as your range highs on a wick, or on a daily closure, I'd say like 8.25. Above there, I'd be looking for this one to rally back up, probably somewhere around like 10.5, maybe $11. Weekly. Yeah, it looks to me like it's going to try to put in a higher low here too. So it probably does follow the rest of the market. But what time frames were you looking at on this? The only one that you actually didn't give me any time frames on this one. Short term probably does make a move up somewhere around like eight, just above $8 there. I'd be looking for Bitcoin in direction though. But the only reason why I really know this one is because Data Dash was strumming up the old beats to this one. I think in like 2017 or 2018. which is actually hilarious. But yeah, man, this one barely surviving, but at least it's doing better than a lot of things. A lot of things are actually still putting in downtrends, but fair enough. Definitely relatively weak on the long scale, but short term, yeah, probably does have some upside there. It's going to follow the rest of the market. Brian Davis says Nvidia long and short. Thanks, appreciate it, sir. All right, NVDA. Okay, Nvidia Corporation on NASDAQ. Oh, really fucking good, man. Holy shit. This one's going to make new all-time highs this week, or it already is, probably into next week as well. Weekly hidden bullish divergence, weekly TSI turning up, weekly literally closing on new ties, getting a new all-time high breakout. Yeah, not really bearish on that, man. This looks really fucking good, man. This looks, again, this is the kind of charts that you want to see, like long-term, just constructively puts in higher lows and higher highs. This is really fucking good here. Now, is this extended? Is this aggressive? Yes, fuck yeah, it is. This whole market is, but does it have some more upside, as far as the daily and weekly goes? Yes, I do think so. You're saying long and short, maybe short term is what you mean by that? Even the 4 hours just breaking out right now too, man. No, volume signature says we get continuation on all time frames that matter here before any sort of a meaningful pullback. Tell Elsa to quit hitting the bong. Trios long term, obviously everything is uptrend. Short term with Bitcoin, yeah, exactly, man. Trios symbol TRIOS. Oh dear lord, man, she keeps on coughing it up. Anyways, looking at do I want you, sir? Calm down. Anyways, okay, so you're looking at short term. Oh no, you're looking at long term. Okay, well, again, same thing is going to be on here anyways. This one doesn't really have a long term, seeing as it's only been around since February. So there's that. Look, man, this one is right there in the middle of the pack. It's neither relatively strong nor relatively weak. Look, here's your range highs above about 1160. I would be looking for a run towards just under $16, maybe more over time, but I'd be looking for Bitcoin on direction. Range low somewhere down around about $6.5, $7 or so for a higher low right there. But overall, you know, this one's neither relatively strong nor relatively weak. It's just kind of par for the course, and generally going to be following Bitcoin in my opinion. As you know, as are most things, but this one's just not as interesting. Brizzy B says wrapped Ethereum versus Clava. CLVA. What the fuck? All right. CLVA. Jesus. Can't spell it already, man. Looks okay. So I'll try to type it in the way that you. Okay. Versus CLV. Okay, it actually is here. All right. Clever. Oh, it's clever. Oh my fucking lord, man! You avoid shit like this like the goddamn plague. God damn it, man! What is the obsession with these charts? Yeah, I actually do think that it does trade up from here. But look, this thing barely even trades to begin with. I mean, go down to an hourly. You got several hours of just no trading at all. I mean, this thing has volume of like literally four. Do you understand four? Very, 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 very small, man. This one is something that I'd like to never touch myself. But does it have some upside here? Probably does. It looks like a little bit of a flag out formation. If you know, again, if you put a gun to my head, we do see momentum oscillators are more or less in a bullish posturing. Not that I trust them too much on something like this, but hidden bullish divergence is at least respectable for the short term, I imagine. And even on the 4, we got several drives of regular phantom divs. So. Fair enough. Yeah, I would be expecting a little or suspecting a little bit of short-term upside, maybe back up to like 22 or Jesus Christ, man, massive range right there. We'll just call it like mid 2000s. Looks okay. Jesus Christ, hold on. Let's do this properly. Dear Lord, oh my God. Yeah, these are massive ranges. Looks like nothing on log scale. Mario Mara says, good sir. Can you check out Amazon daily and monthly? Sure. Symbol AMZN. Yes, Amazon. And you said daily, monthly. Okay, that's quite the spread there. Daily, holding the range right now. Again, as long as it's playing within this greater range right here, it's completely fine. I really do like it. But weekly looks like it's trying to put a low. Yeah, right here, like literally at this exact moment. Hold on. Whoopsies. I'm trying to. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Look, if the weekly does trade above last week's high, I would be confirming this is a higher low. And if this is a higher low, do we have any sort of divergences? Actually, we do not, but I'd be looking for another run at the top side of this resistance. I don't know if it's ready to break just yet, man. This one's pretty hot already. I could imagine that it does go sideways a little bit more within this range for like another month or two, but overall, I'd still favor the long-term upside. Daily is looking... Yeah, I'm not really getting much from the daily. If anything, actually, the daily would be short-term downside, maybe back down to like 3,100. But again, you're right in the middle of a major range here. Major range. So, Jesus Christ, Elda's like actually coughing up a storm. What the fuck's going on over there, man? Anyways, generally speaking, good, but I don't really have an opinion on the short and medium term on this one. Chris Swope says, NAT weekly, monthly, please. Okay, Nordic American tankers. All right. Symbol NAT. All right. Let's see what this one is. Nordic American tank. Oh, dear Lord, man. Another one of these straight down charts. It is showing some monthly upside here, though. I'd be looking for this one to trade back up towards like 480-ish region. What time frames did you say on this? Oh, weekly, monthly. Yeah, so monthly, I'd be looking for it to trade back up. Can't really be too bullish on this one as long as it's below the last monthly high there at about $6. But short term, yeah, some upside. Weekly, yeah, about 435, maybe $4.50. Something like that would look about right. Weekly does have a jewel buy signal as well, so I actually would favor a decent amount of upside right here. Keep a keen eye on about $6. If it takes out that level, I'd extend upside target significantly. But you know, again, another straight down chart ever since 05, man. Not fucking good in my experience. But you know, if you take out that last lower high in the weekly, I'd be looking for a move up somewhere just south of like $10 or so. It would look good, at least for that time frame. Michael Saldivar says, thoughts on American Airlines, right? American Airlines, daily weekly, did I see? Is that right? Yep, daily weekly, $44 by December. I don't know about that, man. I don't really like making calls like that, and I don't think that shit like that can be reasonably done. Now, I do think that you got, it probably do pull back on the first pass of this area right here, but I do think that this one will trade up somewhere around like $30.50. But $44, that's quite the call from where we're at right now. Still in like a monthly downtrend as well. I mean, I'm not a humongous fan of this one, but I would be looking for short-term continuation. I want to see how it responds around this level right here. Actually, pretty much in line with the 200 simple on the weekly as well. If it can do that, you know, do you get your $44 target? Possibly yes, but you still got a couple of areas of interest along the way. That'd be about 39.89, and then yeah, you probably could be looking at about $45, I'd say. But you know, one thing before the next, you do have a few interesting things as far as volume potential goes over here. So maybe there is a bit of hope for this one, but at least short term, a bit of continuation. Maybe like a daily pullback first, but then again, no, this actually looks like reaccumulation right here. So no, it probably does push through first. Daily Jewel given a continuation signal as well. Yeah, I'd be biased towards further continuation short term here. See how it reacts around 31.25 or so. Let's see. MF Pump, Mr. Pump, what's up, man? How do you feel about the Bitcoin Stokes on the 2-day, 3-day? Also, Ethereum may be showing some price divergences, ascending triangle. Yeah, I actually do like. We spoke about this at the beginning of the video here, but yeah, I do like them. We got 3-day right here, building up very, very low. We do see 34,500 is a magical number on this one, so. At least so far, so good. Buy daily is actually currently angled to the downside, but on tonight's closure, we actually will cross this onto the upside if we close, well, basically anywhere above 38,400-ish region, which we're clean $300 above right now. Means absolutely nothing with 17 hours and 33 minutes and 14 seconds left to go, but you know, if that condition is met, yes, you know, I still look for Bitcoin to trade up into like the mid or deep $40,000 territory. That's pretty much it, man. You also asked about also Ethereum maybe showing some price divergence, ascending triangle. Is it showing any divergence? That I don't know. At least I don't believe I saw it earlier. Let's see. On a daily, I'm guessing you're probably looking at. No, there'd be no divergence here, to be fair. On a daily, but we do see momentum also as they're turning up. Is there an ascending triangle? I'm sure that some, you know, people want to look at this as an ascending triangle. You know, could it work out like such? Yeah, I suppose it could. And that could give us a target, but I really dislike trying to do more than what trying to do more than what's necessary on something like this. You know, if you want to make a target on this, I'm sure it probably goes to like, I don't know, 33 or 34. What do you fucking know? Actually, a little bit higher than that, somewhere around about 36. But that is around the 618 in this case, which would be a natural bull trap area if it does, if it does pop back up around there. So technically speaking, is it in there? Yeah, I suppose yes, but I don't know, man. In this case, I think it's best to go simplicity, and still, the range highs would be the top side of your ascending triangle anyways. The general disposition is an accumulation formation, just as we identified on Wyckoff over here too. And it can be exact, of course, doesn't need to be exact, but in this case, I'd say the more important thing you have right, which is just the general idea. So yeah, chiropractor Akutin AS says, check out Super LEO NFT gaming launchpad, holding some but feels like an opportunity at the moment. All right, let's check it out. Super USD, and I guess we'll go to this one right here. Okay, let's see. Again, following the rest of the market, man, it's this one's right around par for the course again as well. Did put in a nice higher low right there as well, kind of around the top side of the current short-term time frame range. I'd be looking for this one to trade up towards about $1, alongside Bitcoin moving back up to 41. If Bitcoin takes out 41, which I think it will, this one probably finds its way back up to about $1.50 relatively easily. Long term, I mean, it is a downturn. It's always going to be difficult to like that, but at least for now, I would actually be looking for some upside. Again, mostly based off of the general market, but I do like that it actually has a significantly higher low right there. So fair enough on that. Weekly, there's just not enough. There's just not enough to analyze here. Long term, though, I don't know, man. I have a lot of trust and faith in Elliott, so it's mostly a question with altcoins. It's mostly a question of, do you think this is legitimate or not? Now, I don't know anything about like NFTs and shit like that, but I do know Elliott quite well, and he's a legitimate guy from what I gather. So. As far as this thing goes, gonna go with the general market. I'd be looking for a little bit of upside here, regardless of that. Anyways, Miguel says, I don't know why I feel there's not enough volume to warrant solid upside in general market. Lately, Bitcoin, could we check out VET, USDT, daily shorter time frame? Yeah, so, look, I'm not trying to pick on you right now, Miguel, but volume gets massively misunderstood. Look, volume on its own means absolutely nothing. Like, you could say this and you could say, okay, we're rallying up to the top side of the short term range, and there's no volume. There's no volume, man. This rally's gonna fail. No, it needs to be considered within the context of price action, sir. It needs to be considered within the context of price action. What are we looking at right here? We're looking at a consolidation consolidation. That's exactly how it should be looking. You want to see volume fall off. What is that telling you? It tells you that the consolidation is maturing as less and less people are being shooken out by this price action. And then what happens after the range is resolved, or the range just doesn't have any more people to chew through? Well, then you get an actual move outside of the range because it fucking makes sense to do. And then you can go fuck some other people some other way, some other which way. In this case right here on this exact name, VET, I have the same thing to say about it earlier. This one's a little bit more on the relatively strong side, I would say, in comparison to a lot of other things. Already grinded up the top side of the range. I think this one takes a leg up towards about 16.5, 17 cents or so. Daily TSI turning up, daily RSI is constructive here. Higher low as well, right around the range highs. Whether it busts through here or right now, or tries to set in another higher low down around like maybe 10.5, 11 cents. I don't have a strong opinion on that, but ultimately, do I think that it pulls through? Yes, I do. Weekly just looks like everything else does. Potentially could put in some hidden bullish evidence too. But that remains to be seen with this next weekly closure. If it closes anywhere here or higher, yeah, probably fine, man. Probably fine. Tolo Vitali says, Krown, can you check out Taiwan Semiconductor on the monthly? Sir, is that a ticker? Sir, ticker, please. All right, Taiwan Semiconductor. One. Okay. Well, the magical words have populated something over here. Hidden bullish evidence off that last low. I'd be looking for this one to trade back up on a weekly schedule to about 126 3/4. Long term, is this one good? Yes, it's very good, actually. Very fucking good. And apparently you should not say that Taiwan is an actual country, but I'm pretty sure it is a country. So fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, China. Just kidding. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Don't ban me and don't try, and please don't kill me. But I will obey. Okay, I'll put on my face diapers. All right, no problem. All right, I'll be a good citizen, and I'll have a very good social credit score. All right. Yeah, man. This one very likely does trade back up here. It's actually a very respectable chart, very good chart. Well done, Taiwan people. Well done, sirs and zers. Looking good here. I think again, it's consolidated at a high level, man. This one very likely does continue on. It's getting relatively hot, though. I would say it's getting relatively hot. So I don't know how much more upside this one generally has, but at least for now, you give it the benefit of the doubt as long as it follows the trend. And look, there's absolutely nothing bearish about this thing as long as it's above about 107 or so. So all good right there. All right, sweet. Damien says, since movies coming out glorify the trading lifestyle, can you speak on the reality of that career field and things that movies don't cover? Okay, well, first off, I'm not aware of any movies that cover like actual trading. People think that The Wolf of Wall Street is trading. No, that guy was a broker. He wasn't trading. People think that, I guess The Big Short kind of was, but that was more like hedge fund trading. Okay, so, well, I don't really know what people think trading is, but at least from what I gather, I think a lot of people think that trading is like what you see in The Wolf of Wall Street, where you're like partying all the time and you're getting fucked up on the job and that's like par for the course. No, in fact, all of the guys who were doing like very hard drugs on the floor, they washed out like relatively fast too, in my experience. And remember, I'd been going down to the floor not just between the time where I was a professional trader, but also when I was like a little kid, being from like 11 to basically college time, being a clerk for my father who was working on the Pacific Stock Exchange. So I was able to kind of see, it from a longitudinal perspective. And, a lot of people down there, like they did not make it. And especially the people who were like doing really hardcore drugs, they actually usually did not have the best time. Now that does not apply to everything, actually. A lot of guys, it was in San Francisco, so everyone was smoking weed. So, that was kind of just normalized. So I don't think that's not of the same discussion. Alcohol, a little bit different as well. A lot of people drink after work for sure, but usually they work for other people. So it's kind of hard to tell if they're going to be successful or not. And then like the psychedelics, I knew one guy who was like really into psychedelics, and he would come in like lit the fuck up on acid, and he actually was pretty fucking good at his job. But that's different than like an actual hard drug. But I don't know if that's exactly what you're referring to. Anyways, my experience with trading. Look, I'll tell you my fucking day, man. I go to bed at like 8 or 9 p.m. Okay. And I'm happy about it actually as well. I wake up somewhere between about 5 and 6 a.m. And honestly, if I don't do that, I do not feel prepared for the day. As a trader, I feel, especially if you're trading your own accounts, you really have to be at the top of your game, because there's, you can't just pass off the lots to someone else. And well, that's a whole nother discussion anyways. But my point is that, the way that I think about things is like, I want everything that I can possibly optimize that will help me in my endeavor to be optimized optimized, because if I do not, then that means that, I've gone broke before, and that's typically how it happens. So sleep is very important to me. Reading is very important to me. Obviously looking at the markets for the majority of the day. Someone asked a really good question yesterday in the Discord, like, how often do you take breaks? It's like, I don't really ever fully take a break. I always have at least a chart open or so if I'm at my computer, which is pretty much every day. So, at least I'm getting my eyes on it for a few hours, at least, even if I'm not actively trading. But generally speaking, man, like, I want things to be calm. I do a bit of meditation. I think that that's incredibly helpful. 20 minutes a day is phenomenally helpful. Keeping a journal of not just my trades and my emotions with that, but just a general journal where, I just, I guess, have conversations with myself, I suppose, as a fucking schizophrenic. And, stuff like that, going to the sauna every day for about half an hour to an hour is really, really helpful for myself. Lifting weights is also a good way, and doing at least an hour of walking. Like, all of those things I feel help kind of maybe not calm my mind, but I guess calm my mind a bit. And what I really want to be having during my trading days, I want to have no distractions that can influence me emotionally, because I know that whether I like it or not, if I do if I get into an emotional state, sometimes like I do on these streams here, in fact, quite often like I do on these streams, it's not going to be good for my actual trading. So understand that, when I'm being a little bit more animated on stream here, that's not actually the headspace that I want to be in when I'm trading. I want to be relatively calm, and more important than anything, I want to be bored, because that is what real trading is. It's boring. I mean, if you walk into a trading office, if you walked into my office that I was working in above the floor of SIBO when I actually moved over to Chicago, like, it was just a bunch of guys sitting in front of computers. If you've seen the video of FTX live trading, I think that there's like a really popular video going around with them doing that. It looks pretty much exactly like that. You have everyone has about like 4, sometimes like 8 screens all stacked up in front of them. You were all kind of sitting in rows as if it was a school. Some people dress up, some people don't. Doesn't really matter. But it's most of the time, like, we're just kind of shooting the shit, talking with each other. And for the most part, like, trading is relatively boring, and it's mostly done by our algos. And we will have specific input, depending upon the current market. Are you okay for real? Okay, I think Elsa's like actually dying. I think she needs to go to the doctor. It just looks like a bunch of fucking nerds, man. That's what it looks like, and I am a nerd, so fair enough. If you've seen me on Twitch, you definitely know that. Anyways, okay, cool. Guy Pirelli says Uno pumped 100% today and is about to break $1. Okay. Cool. Is that a question or a comment? Uno. Okay, so this is an actual thing, and it is going to break $1. Fair enough. Yeah, it actually, I mean, there's not enough history to analyze this one, but this one's currently in an up phase right now. So do I think that it hits $1? Probably, yeah. Probably heads up to like 110, 120-ish region. Usually when you get into the 90-cent region, you get a free ride to $1, or like a $90 region, you typically get a free ride to $100, just like as a general rule. Spencer Smith says, love you, Broseph. Hey, love you too, sir. CTSI, any time frames? Okay, so this is a ticker, not the True Strength Index. CTSI. Oh, it's crypto too. All right, fair enough. And you're saying any time frame. Okay. Okay. I'm an OG holder. I'm thinking it's going to go bigger than all-time high. Well, I think that that's going to depend more on the general market here, but a respectable chart, at least for the history that we have, which only goes back to April 2020. But hey, it's at least a year. It's at least a year, so it's better than many things in this market. Yeah, it looks okay here. Again, neither relatively strong nor relatively weak. We do have hidden bullish evidence come off this last low. I'd be looking for this one to trade back up towards the range highs at about 85 cents. After that, maybe a short-term pullback, and then probably continuation up to about, 110, 114 region. Daily TSI is about to turn up as well on TSI, which is actually not bad. Weekly, it's still an uptrend here, so I do respect it. If it takes out last week's high, I'd be looking for a retest of probably prior weekly highs, maybe over the next week or two. It'd look okay, but I'd still be very, very keen-eyed on Bitcoin here to understand the general direction within the market, because I don't think that this one's going to move on its own. Let's see how much it got beat up in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, 74.5%. So this one is going to be a more emotional brother versus Bitcoin, but at least for now, yeah, I'd be favoring some upside here. It's okay. Definitely okay for the history that we do have. Crypto Medic Odin. Oh man, we got all kinds of things going on right there. Uno is one of the most amazing undervalued projects ever found in the crypto sphere. Okay, well that sounds like a marketing ploy, so I'm just going to scoot on by this. It's not a bad chart, at least for the history that we have, but it's very minimal, and I'll just leave it at that, man. Nate, hey, what's up, Nate? Can you check out Lumen Daily Weekly? Okay, Lumn. Let's see what Nate's got back in the mix here. He's always got something that's interesting. Daily's looking good. Weekly's looking good. Short term, I'd be looking towards 15 and a quarter. Monthly is probably extension. Monthly has a reversal in place here. Look, grinding up around your prior high on the monthly is usually going to lead to an actual reversal. We do see a bit of a double bottom going on right there. I'd be looking for this one short term. Well, I don't know about short term on a monthly, but I'd be looking for this one to continue generally to about $16, probably short term pullback from there, and then continuation, maybe just shy of like $20. Long term, man, how the fuck do you find these all the time? Like, these very, very nasty downtrends, but I do think that it has some serious upside here. I mean, you do have a monthly jewel buy signal, which, you know, admittedly did happen in October 2020, but I still think that one's long-term playing out. Monthly RSI is completely fine. I really like this. Multiple drives of bullish divergence off the low. If you see monthly TSI getting to the bullish buy zone, I'd probably extend this run like up to probably north of $20, but at least for now, looking good, at least for the time frames that you are postulated on. And then we have another person chilling Uno. HH says, Uno has to be on everyone's watch list. Invest before it goes to $1. Oh, this sounds very convincing right now. Let me put all my fucking money in there, sir. Oh, Jesus. This is like the new way to shill your shitcoin, sir. I hope that works out for you, man. Hey, look, again, I actually do think that it will head up to probably $1 plus, but I don't know, man. I'm starting to get a little bit suspect here with all this interest out of nowhere after never hearing about this thing ever. You never know, though. Can you check out BQX USD daily and weekly? Thanks, Derp. This is Superman's shitcoin, right? Yeah, this one's doing. Let's see how this one's doing. Yeah, this one gets a rally up too. Everyone gets a fucking rally, doesn't it? Back above the range highs as well. Probably popping back up towards 369 region. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing pop back up towards this region over here. Actually, let's plot this. Wait, hey, that's not what I'm looking for. Where's my ray? There's my ray. Major range high is going to be more around here, like 5 and 30. Short term, it's got some upside, yes. I like the structure right here. It does have an actual reversal, higher low, higher high, boom, up. I'd be looking for this one short term. Yeah, about 369, probably continuation over time. Again, long term, terrible chart, but holy fuck, this thing rallied out of nowhere. All right, there you go. Okay, sweet. CA knows better, do they? Do you mean CZ knows better? Might look like a shill, but go and read. Oh, motherfucker. All right. Might look like a shill. Definitely a shill. And read Uno's white paper and understand why this will be so huge. Warren Buggett has reinsured and insured his portfolio. Interesting, man. Look, I'm not the guy for shitcoins. Look, I'm not even saying that it's good or bad. I don't fucking know. My general disposition towards altcoins is that they're probably going to be a scam for the most part, because most of them are. Does that mean that all of them are? No, of course not. Could this one maybe not be one? Who the fuck knows, man? It's only been around for like a month or two. So you're talking to the wrong person, but I suspect the idea isn't to get to me to talk about it, it's to get other people to look at it. And fair enough, people can make their own decision for themselves. I don't have to play any role in that. So again, yeah, there you go. Regret everything says CB trading old KNC. Others X already upgraded. Wait, what the fuck? So CB pretty much fucked all the arbitrage traders, including myself. Now my transfers suck in limbo. Yeah, that actually does make sense. That actually would make sense. Yeah, Coinbase does make it a little bit more difficult. There's more like regulations going on there too. So, and the fee structure is completely different to other exchanges. So arbitrage is a bit more of an issue, I'd imagine, amongst like the already big issues with it in this space. Reed Harvey says, long time watcher. Hey man, good to meet you then. Thoughts on Clover short term? Okay, Clover. Is this a crypto or it is a stock. It's on NASDAQ. It's a real stock on Clover Health. It's a really shitty stock, is what it is. But we do have regular bullish divergence. I'd be looking for this one to trade up a little bit north of like 9.25 to 9.5 on the weekly. Daily. Okay, so daily, while I am looking for some upside here, I would be cognizant of your last major high, which would be right around $10.5. So as long as you're below $10.5, it's hard for me to get like looking for a major reversal here. At least short term, I think that there's more upside, but above about 10.5, I would extend targets significantly, probably all the way up to this breakdown point at about just under $14 long term. But I don't know what time frames you're going for on this one. Oh, you're talking about short term. Okay, well, short term, let's go down to a 4-hour. Short term, I'd be looking for short term continuation. Yeah, about 9.25 to 9.5 region is where I'd be looking towards. Joe Purdue says, sushi USDT weekly, please. Sure. Wow, we haven't looked at sushi in a while either, man. Why did, oh, fucking, I still can't spell it. Still can't spell it after all these times of typing it in. Sushi, US dollar, again, at the top side of this current range, I do think that's going to push through here. I mean, just grind it up against the top side of the range, just like with a higher low in place already. Look, it's very likely to push through. I'd be looking for a target towards like 15 and some odd change. What time frames are you looking at though? You're looking at a weekly. Okay, so that's a daily. Weekly, you could probably extend that a little bit more towards like 16 and a half. This one is looking for at least a short-term reversal here. So yeah, I actually do favor both the daily and the weekly at least for a little bit more. Tello G. Hey, what's up, Tello G? Hey, Krown, can I ask your stochastic settings for Forex as long as you want to give them away? Actually, the funny thing about Forex is I do not use Stokes in Forex either. So traditional land and Forex, I do not really like Stokes. If I'm going to use a momentum offset, I like RSI right there. Jack, hey, what's up, Jack Asiman? Ethereum daily, Ethereum Bitcoin daily and weekly. Okay, yeah, man, let's check it out. Let's check it out. All right, so the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing right here, looking good on the weekly. Actually, looking very good. You know, maybe I'm going to be completely wrong about Bitcoin dominance. I mean, this is not bearish. Did we take out last week's high? No, we have not, but it's going to. Looking at the daily here, it is extremely fucking likely to. I'd be looking for this one to trade back up towards like, what is this, 8 million Satoshis. Look, I think that you've probably seen the lows. Maybe it comes down one more time to like mid 6 million Satoshis, but I do think that this is the low, and this one will trade back up. I mean, next time it hits 8.5 million Satoshis, it's very unlikely to stop there. It's going to move up to like 0.1 or so. Let's see where our next major level is. Yeah, 0.105 actually. This is a really fucking good chart, man. Weekly, golden cross, little bit of, that pullback was immediately bought back on up, retraced pretty much already. Look, I'm not, there's nothing bearish about this chart, man. Monthly is phenomenally fucking bullish. Really, really good. Really, really good stuff. Okay, cool. Claudio, what's up, Claudio? Frank, can you take a look at Barn Bridge bond on crypto? Okay, bond bridge. Okay, so it's symbol bond. It's like, oh wait, fucking bastard. All right, so this thing, Barn Bridge. Well, based off its name, I'm definitely bullish. Monthly is shit. Daily is pretty bad as well, but does have some short-term upside, probably like 32.5. Look, I really despise charts like this, man. I really despise charts like this. It's certainly relatively weak in comparison to the rest of the market, but does it have some short-term upside alongside everything else? Probably yes. Bullish or crap? I mean, long-term, this is not something that I want to be anywhere near, but short-term, does it get to follow the rest of the market? Probably yeah. 32 to 30, 32.5 to 33 region. It's very, very likely right there. Maybe a little bit more over time, but ultimately, all things considered, we've seen so many charts that are actually acting decent. All things considered, and this is not one of them. This is certainly not one of them. This one would be the epitome of an actual shitcoin chart. Do not like it. Compared to the other opportunities within this market right now. But again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and I do think that has some short-term, medium-term upside there. Sty Guy Bob says, "Hi, Mrs. Creams. I trade traditional E-mini futures. Do you think banks will give me trouble for loans?" I know they've been giving you a hard time with crypto. Probably not. I mean, E-mini futures are pretty, well understood, and also understand. I've never had a problem with an American bank or an Estonian bank. I've only had issues with Finnish banks. So I actually have bank accounts in a couple different countries, and they've never given a fuck about that or even asked, so to speak. And they know all my dealings too. But Finnish banks, whenever I try to get an account, they will ask questions about that. And it's not even that they're going to deny me an account for it. It's just they want to know specifics about it, which is just kind of weird. But whatever. Anyways, to answer your question just straight up, look, I can't speak for a bank, but I'd imagine that would be a more reasonable proposition than something more like, more than like a nascent market like fucking cryptocurrencies. So E-mini futures are pretty, well established. I don't think that would be an issue. But then again, it probably depends more on like your credit score, if I had to guess, not the actual market itself, although that will be a consideration. FOX says, "Hey, Krown, what's up, man? Can we take a look at CRO USD daily Bittrex? Many thanks from Chicago." Hey, nice one. All right, so CRO, this is crypto.com. Welcome to crypto.chartguys.com. Daily right here, taking out the range highs. I'll be looking for this one to have a short-term move back to about 14.25. Could I have more than that over time? Possibly, yes. Definitely not my favorite chart of all time here either, but you do have to respect the weekly trend, and for right now, it does have a higher low in place. potential higher low in place, but we do not have what I'd really want to see on the other side, which would be hidden bullish divergence potential. It will actually not be a potential. We made much more lower lows on RSI over here. So that is not a topic of conversation. Now, if Bitcoin gets going to the deep $40,000 territory, I'd be looking for this one up to about 16.5 cents. That's where I'd be looking towards. Short term, yeah, you know, it has some upside here as well. It's pretty much fine. Jero says TKO USD 4-hour time frame. All right, TKO US DERP. Binance, as always, for your shitcoin carousel needs. 4-hour breaking the range as well. Actually, pretty good here. At least, you know, all things considered, I think that this one it might have a very short-term pullback back down to like 267, but ultimately this one very likely does tag up towards about 3.25 would be my next sort of medium-term target, and then 375 would be my next area of interest above that. You know, again, not my favorite chart of all time, all things considered, but at least for right now, over the short and medium term, decent, and it's already taken out that range high. So I'd probably be looking for extension here. Yeah, a little bit more, definitely, or I wouldn't say definitely, but very likely has a little bit more there. Shauna Twerk. Shauna, your name's Shauna Twerk. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's me again. I'm a girl. Dash. It's me. I'm Jessica. Dash on the 4-hour and 12-hour, please. Sure. I want to take a trade and put all my monies in it. Thank you very much. That sounds like a terrible idea. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and I really would suggest you consider not doing that. Why Dash? Out of all the shitcoins that you can choose, why Dash? This one. Oh my God, Shauna! For fuck's sake! You chose one of the worst charts of the day to go all in on. What the fuck? The fuck is this? Oh, fuck! Look. While every shitcoin in this market was going to the moon and beyond, was going to the absolute massive moon, Mars, and beyond, fucking Dash doesn't even get anywhere around its prior shit all-time high. Okay, shitcoin police need to be called twice. This thing needs to go to shitcoin jail. Shauna, for the love of fucking God. Look, this thing's gonna move with the rest of the market, but for fuck's sake, why do you choose one of the weakest charts? The weakest! It's gonna move with everything else. Look, if Bitcoin moves up here, this one will move up as well. Will it move up as much as Bitcoin? Probably not, because it's an actual pile of steaming hot garbage. Wow. Here's your real chart, by the way. Oh, that looks really great. Just dump it all fucking down and... Shauna! For the love of God! But here's how a lot of people look at it, which is actually the true secret in trading. Okay, so we had a dump from our highs of $1,800 down to $200. And you know what that means? You know what that means? Because it's a cryptocurrency. 785% in the books. I'm spending it now. Shauna, take out that fucking loan and spend it all this exact goddamn moment. This is a financial advice. Just kidding. You're wrecked as fuck. Look, it's gonna move up here. It's gonna move up here, but for the love of God, you don't have to choose the worst chart. It's like, oh my fucking God. The only thing more bullish than going up is going down. To hell and beyond we go, Shauna. To hell and beyond we go. Shauna Twerk. Mrs. Twerk. Mrs. Twerk, we just got boo caked on this fucking stripper pole over here. It's not good. Swarm YOLO says, can you look at Mina, USDT, and silver? How about just one? How about just one shitcoin at a time? Mina, USD. Trades on. Okay, so literally it's been trading for 3 days. Sir, I have nothing to say about this thing. All right, we'll look at your other shitcoin here, silver, which is actually probably bullish too. Motherfucker, man. Motherfucker. Oh, actually, no, it's still long-term bullish. This is really fun. This one's going to trade up to like $35 plus long-term, but short-term, does it come back down to like 26, 27? Probably yes. But I'm looking at a monthly right there. Actually, daily's fine here too. It's consolidated at a very high level. This is reaccumulation by the fucking definition of it after a long-term accumulation over here. Yeah, it's really, really good. Long-term, I'd be looking at like $35, but that can take, you know, I don't know, 3 months, 6 months or so. I don't know what time frame you're looking for, but your Mina shitcoin, look, we can't even pull up a chart for that. That makes any sense, man. 3 days is nothing to analyze, so I can't give you a good faith opinion on that. Technical analysis is already a very, 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 very incomplete way or just very imperfect way of looking at things. When you have even less information, like 3 fucking days, I don't have anything that I think could be helpful with that. In this case right here, short term, I don't know, man, it's just playing in the range, and in generally bullish long term. Yo, forgot to, hey, what's up, Higher Left 78? All good, man. Can I get some insight daily and down on Cardano BTC? Okay, we'll look at Cardano Bitcoin over here. Okay, on Binance, I suppose. Okay, so this is versus the Bitcoin pairing, not to be confused with the US dollar pairing, which we actually do kind of like. Or actually, I wouldn't say that. We do kind of like it. It's very likable. This one's pretty damn good at a high level here too. I would be looking for the next short-term move to the downside, most likely somewhere around like 4450 satoshis. If this thing came back down to like somewhere around even like 43 to 4500 satoshis, anywhere around there is fair game. I would just be looking to that as very likely another higher low. Long term, I'd be looking for upside. This is very fucking good chart right here, grinding against your prior all-time highs. Short term, like a 4-hour downside, very likely the next move, somewhere down around about 4450, maybe lower than that over time. But again, anywhere along this trend line is just another higher low, and I'd be looking for this one to generally trade higher once this reaccumulation is complete, which can take it can probably take another like month or so. This one's getting more mature, but I do want to see it fill out the space a little bit more. And this obviously comes with the caveat that it must hold this higher low structure right here at 4100 satoshis. As long as it does that, completely fine. I'd be bullish on it, generally speaking. But short term, yes, downside. Okay, cool. Josh Matthews, what's up, man? Crown Dog, Josh Dog. Thank you for all that you do. Change of pace since you have a beef fetish. Have you purchased a pellet grill yet? A pellet grill? No, I'm not familiar with that. What is it? Is it like a George Foreman or something? Or I'm looking for a way to like just streamline my steak making process so that I could just press a button. If that's something that can do that for me, I will absolutely love you, man, because I've been looking for something like that for a long time. But yeah, I'll actually, you know what, I'm gonna write that down over here. I actually really appreciate this, man. Pellet grill. Oh, nice. It actually came up on my. Oh, this looks sick. Oh, fuck yeah, man. I'm gonna have to buy one of these once I move into this new place, or once we hopefully move into this new place. Okay, yeah, this is actually looking really, really cool. Awesome, man. Thank you for that. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated, man. All right, let's see what Frozen got over here. Frozen says, Chris, can you look at XDC? Any idea of potential targets if all-time high is broken? Okay, XDC. This is yet again another crypto, I believe. Yeah, it is. Okay, all right. On Finex and KuCoin, interesting combination there. Daily, you know, playing with everything else. We have a slightly higher low, and then we did take out the range highs thus far. I'd be looking for this one to trade up to like 6 3 cents, short to medium term. But what time frames are you looking at? Any idea of potential targets of all time? Okay, well, you're asking for targets if all time high is broken. Look, all-time high is pretty fucking far away, man. I can give you some targets, but there's no fucking guarantee they're gonna get hit, man. This is actually well, hold on, let's scroll a little bit further back. Oh yeah, this actually is a pretty damn good chart. How far does this go back? April 2018. Yeah, actually pretty damn impressive, all things considered. Yeah, this one's actually very impressive, all things considered. Wow. Okay, let's see. Do we have hidden bullish divergence in progress here? Yeah, if this does confirm a higher low, which it's in progress of doing, if it can close above last week's high especially, I'd be looking for a retest back around like, what is this, just under 10 cent. Okay, so your question specifically is, where would I be looking towards if it does break all-time highs? Look, I'm not going to give you like or at least I don't have like the best way of doing this, but this would be a presumed decent way, assuming that it operates within this range and does not break on new lows being below about 4.5 cents or so. Long-term targets, again, if it breaks above all-time high, this is the specific question, so I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but this is a specific scenario with a major assumption involved. Above this level right here, I would start to look towards moves into the around a quarter, basically. Very likely around a quarter, maybe even higher than that over time, you know, into the 30-cent region. But you do have a lot of good things going on here. I mean, long-term is a gigantic uptrend in comparison to most shitcoins, which are not. This is relatively strong long-term. It's already taken out the range highs, so I do like that. Daily TSI is turning up. Daily RSI is fine. Weekly could confirm hidden bullish divergence if it does close above. Even if it closes here, it probably does anyways. I think you could be a little more aggressive with it. And yeah, I'd be looking at a move back around like 10 cents or so. But again, your question is specifically, where would I target if it does break all-time highs? I suppose around a quarter, but understand that's very fucking far away. I'm not saying that's going to happen. A lot of things need to happen before that. Bordian Weaver says, do you think Cardano will drop if Bitcoin has a bull trap? Yes, everything will drop alongside with it in varying degrees of strength and weakness. Now, Cardano being one of the better actors within this market probably drops a little bit less, all things considered, to other altcoins, but it very likely will drop as well. Just like when Bitcoin dropped off a couple weeks ago, you're going to see pretty much everything else follow. Now, Cardano, again, how do you know that Cardano is relatively strong? It didn't drop off as much, and more importantly, it's retracing that drop a lot faster than everything else. This one only dropped on a closing basis. I wouldn't say only, but compared to everything else, this is actually rather impressive. 41.5%. Compare that with, you know, most anything else is like 60 to 70% on average. So you know, it would very likely drop with Bitcoin, but again, I would actually be looking at that as you know, it's a sign of long-term strength. There's nothing fucking bearish about a chart that is continuing with this uptrend. Crypto Angel says, can you check out Shatcoin on Shatcoin Theta 4-hour USD? Yeah, man, Theta was another really popular one this past summer or so that just doesn't really get too much love anymore. But let's see what it's doing on Binance. It's doing fine here. Higher low right there. Took out the range highs right here. I'd be looking for this one to short term move up to about 970. And what time frames did you ask about? 4-hour. Okay, so that was a daily, but I feel like, you know, it looks okay here on a daily, man. You might want to be interested in that. But we can go to a 4-hour. 4-hour short term, I'd be looking for a move up to, yeah, about $9 or so. It's grinding up against a 200 exponential average right now, but I don't think that that's going to do much. It's already, it's you know, it's pretty much already taken out those range highs anyways. I'd be looking for this one short term, like $9 or so. All right, my friends. Hey, what's up, Philson? All right, we'll do Philson last one just because he's an OG of OGs. All right, Philson says, audio USD. Okay, audio USD, huh? Audio USD right here. I see Caretaker still at it as well. My fucking man. And do we have Nimbo here, or I think it's just Pedro, and yeah, it's we got Frozen, and we got Caretaker as our lovely moderators today. Okay. And Elsa, who is actually coughing up a storm and still doing her job, which is kind of cool. Okay, audio. In what time frame did you want to look at, Mr. Filson? No time frame given. God damn it, Filson. This one's moving up towards the top side of the range as well. I'd be looking for a short-term move up somewhere around like 133. Probably has a short-term pullback from there, and then based off the rest of the market, I'd probably be looking for general continuation. This one is neither relatively strong nor relatively weak. It did put in a slightly higher low, but it is not taking out the range highs just yet, as a lot of the more stronger ones are. But you got daily TSI turning up. You got daily RSI more or less rejecting the bearish control zone right there. Definitely not as strong as the other ones, but going to follow through. And areas of interest again, short term, about 133. Then you got like 140, 144.5, and then above there, you probably looked somewhere around $2, but for right now, yeah, it's fine. Short-term timeframes, like very short-term timeframes, I would like to see it prove itself above this last high right here on a 4-hour closing basis before the next sort of move up towards this range high at about 150, and that would be 128.75 or so. So I think that'll do it for right there. Anyways, fellas, my voice is completely wrecked once again. I need to drink some lemon tea. It actually does help quite a fair bit. But I really appreciate everyone coming in and hanging out. It's been a really fun time. Really good shit. Hey Spencer, we did look at CTSI, man. We did look at CTSI. All right, I'll briefly go back to it. But we did actually look at it. I can assure you of that if you wanted to just scroll back like 5 or so minutes. You know, again, this one, neither relatively strong nor relatively weak. Right there, smack dab, par for the course. I would be looking for a move up to the range highs like 87 cents and then watch Bitcoin for direction. Bitcoin above 41, you probably extend that target to like just north of $1. So fair enough on this one, but yeah, if you want the more pertinent analysis from when you asked, then I don't know, just scroll back like 5 or 10 minutes, whenever it was. Okay, sweet. So that's gonna be it for me today. I want to wish everyone a happy and healthy rest of their day on this lovely little Wednesday or Thursday or whatever the hell day that it is, the 3rd of June. Time is just going by, flying by like crazy. Again, I salute you and hopefully see you soon. And that is it for now. Take care and much love.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, XR pitch it, copy, paste it, nudge it, test